This is episode 59, a special episode with our guest Elijah Baker, where we discuss him acting in The Batman, audition stories, and geeking out on our favorite martial art movies. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Oh, man, let's talk everything film.
Yeah. So welcome again to Rage Well, and today's a special episode. We have well, I'd like to say friend, but we don't know each other particularly well, but we work together briefly. It's Elijah Baker, and on a short film, I was a photographer from one of my friends who is a producer, Trish and Sasha, and I got to meet Elijah Baker. And to be fair, man, I go to quite a few of these little film shoots of people, and I'm in the background, so I don't really get to connect with anyone. But you were super nice and super cool, and you took time out and hung out with me for a bit. And I was like, this guy is, you're not just an actor, you're like a decent human being, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, Kevin. It's because you had the crisps.
Was that it?
Yeah,
No, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. So we worked on a short film called Ethel. It was about dementia, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Alzheimer's dementia.
Yeah, and you nailed it.
Drew
actually went to the premiere.
Yeah, man.
Drew,
I was Kev's plus one. It was really awkward and hilarious, and we talked about this briefly in another episode. Because Kev was like, "You could be my plus one," and I'm like, "That's great. I'd love to go with you." He's like, "No, I'm not going." I'm like, "What? That's just weird." But then I saw the film in the cinema. It was absolutely incredible. I loved the twists. I loved how kind of powerful and poignant it was. And yeah, I think I briefly met you and some of the cast afterwards in the foyer. But it got really busy, and I think it was industry there as well, man. So hopefully that might have opened some doors for you guys as well. There was a lot of networking going on. I told Kevin I felt a bit like a monster in a blue furry suit, like, hey. Everyone was lovely.
No, Drew, I'm just glad you didn't say, don't you remember, Elijah, we spoke for 2 hours. I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah. You know what happened? You know, someone does that to you. Like, it doesn't happen often because I usually remember people. But
yeah.
This time she'd be like, oh, cool, man. And be like, yeah, well, you had like a 2-hour chat about life. And
that would be awkward, man. I think that was just probably a couple of minutes because, like, you were very much in demand. Like, a lot of people wanted to speak to you and stuff, and it was really cool, man. But it was like,
was cool,
you had such great charisma and your character, and it was such a powerful film. I really. Were they going to turn that into like a feature? Because I think it has the legs to be a feature, man.
Yeah, thank you all. First of all, yeah, cheers for that, bro. And funny enough, I missed the film because like I didn't get to watch it at the premiere. This was at Shaftesbury Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally, and I didn't actually get to watch it there because let's just say I was with people that were running a bit late, and then I got there, and when we got there, you know what I mean? Well, when we got there, the film had just finished.
Well, it's a short film, man. It's like if you're running 15 minutes.
It's not like exactly. Film. You only get 15 minutes really to play with. You know what I mean? So it's
in the cinema, bro. In the cinema.
That's cool.
They could have played it twice, though, couldn't they? They could have put it on again.
Oh, I don't know what I mean. Times. Yeah, they could have played it 4 times. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it's an interesting one because. Yeah, first of all, I mean, I agree. Like the way the film was shot, and for James, if you haven't seen it as well, that the way it was shot, like it was a really high budget short film.
Yeah,
you know, I've never had security guards on a short film before. Like,
wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you were being followed around by 2 massive guys all the time.
Remember? Yeah, like,
it was like back up.
Yeah, it was like 2 Phil and Grant type guys. No, they were cool. But it's like these 2 big guys, basically, really nice guys, were following me around, and I kept thinking to myself, like. Is this like necessary? Do you know what I mean? like I'm not established. This is a short film. It's not really like we're not shooting in like in some crazy like hood or anything like that. Like it was really chilled. Like so, but no, I get it. I mean, hey, like if you got the budget, then have security guards.
Well, that's the weird thing is that it was filmed in what's it called, Rowan? Oh, what's that place called?
Yeah, it's a famous place where there's a lot of like photography. it looks a bit like a. It's really unique, isn't it? It's near West Hampstead, guys. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah,
it's
brutalist architecture, and it's in loads of films and loads of TV shows, and it's highlighted to show depravity in London, but it's actually like high spec apartments.
Didn't they film that Taron Egerton film there? What's the one where he's like a James
Kingsman.
Bond spy? Kingsman, that's it, yeah.
They did film that there. Yeah, they filmed that there.
There's loads there, and it's meant to be like that's where all the drug deals and all the horrible people live. But it's West Hampstead, man. Like you need to be a millionaire to own one of those.
Yeah, it's like organized depravity, which doesn't work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's really cool that, like, visually, of course, that everyone would have seen this place before because it's got a really unique look to it. And yeah, it was definitely the highest budget short film I've ever worked on. I've probably done feature films that had less of a budget than this short had.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, like we was gonna get a comic book. There was talk of making a feature. I think Johnny just never saw anything beyond the short, or maybe not enough to the director and creator. I think he wanted to make the short, and once it was made, I think he got way more than he expected to get out of it, in the sense of like what it ended up becoming. You know,
Right.
And he's done really well. Like it's a great short, and I'm happy to have been a part of it. But I actually wrote a treatment for a feature, and and I sent it to Johnny, I sent it to Trish, and I sent it to Sasha, and they're like Sasha, one of the producers, and like a whole treatment about what happens next, because the way the film concludes, not to spoil it for James, you're left wanting to know. I mean, I was left wanting to know, not just like what happens next with these characters, and so like I created a whole continuation of, okay, so this was just a slice. We want to give you the pizza, you know. So and there was kind of some interest with it, but I think Johnny's just got other interests and he's got other projects that he's more focused on.
Some TV stuff and things like big. Love Island he's doing or something. He's doing stuff like some big TV shows or something.
Yeah, he's more into the reality TV stuff, but I mean, I think more like that's what he's been doing. But yeah, I've spoke to him. He was interested to have me for a project recently. There was something he was working on. So yeah, we've been talking, but yeah, it's a shame as well, because I just feel like it's not a lot of people haven't seen it who would enjoy it, you know. And I think it's because of I personally would have put it on a big platform when they released it, and I think putting it on a bigger platform would have got it seen.
Have you seen that they are now releasing like shorts on like iTunes and things like that? You know, it's like what was it? I saw there's like a short film called Stutter, which is like a 15-minute film.
Yeah,
and it deals with a guy that he's deaf basically, and it's one of the actors that's now in House of the Dragon TV series by HBO. He plays quite a kind of creepy character in that, but he plays a really kind of lovable, vulnerable guy in Stutter. But when I saw Stutter, it reminded me of like just how kind of cinematic and kind of such high production value that Ethel had that you guys were in. And I thought it would have been cool if it was to go on a few platforms. And that's the thing that I think is quite sad sometimes, that short films don't get the kind of platforms they deserve. Because I feel like if there was things out there for short films, especially ones connected with such important topics, man, it deserves.
It was on BBC for a bit. It was on BBC and it was on YouTube. I think it must be YouTube.
Yeah, that's the thing. Was that Stutter you were talking about, or Ethel?
Ethel,
okay. Yeah, because they put it on YouTube. They put it on a YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel it doesn't really have a following. You know what I mean? And there is channels that I know that I'm connected to that have like 500,000 subscribers and stuff, and they would have took it. But I think they just wanted to put it on their own channel, which I understand. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Unless there's like there's a lot of money and time poured into promotion, then it just doesn't get seen. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm just it's a shame.
We'd love to plug it through. I think Ragewell, man. I think it's a brilliant film, man. I'd love to watch it again. And James hasn't even seen it, so
trying to find it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, it'd be cool. It'd be cool for more people to see it for sure. Because there's been a few shorts like that I've been in, and you know, I did a film, Signs of Silence, where I played a deaf character, and you know, and that's a short that exists on YouTube, and that was similar to Ethel in a sense where, you know, I educated myself more on the topic that the film was based around, which is the Alzheimer's dementia. You know, and my nan had Alzheimer's dementia, so it's like I've seen it firsthand as well. So it was just a lot to process, and it was a lot of fun to do as well. I mean, Miriam Margolyes is, as Kevin will tell you, is such a cool character as well.
Jesus, you know, she is obscene.
Yeah. In the coolest way, like she'll just come out with something that you never expect a lady of that age group to come out with. You know what I mean? But she keeps everyone on their toes, and she's fun to be around. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's
I
fun.
must admit, someone.
she's a character in real life, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like when she wasn't acting, there was like a moment. Unfortunately, I didn't get in the photo because I took the photo. It was like a little cast photo, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure she said something along the lines of, "Come on, you lazy, get in the photo," like
yeah,
to everyone,
yeah.
and she'd only been on set for
She
like
said
5 minutes.
there was a lot of phrases to do with which was it threw everyone off. You felt like you'd been hit in the stomach because it was just it came out of nowhere. I was like, what the
Whoa.
fuck?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
sweet lady just coming out with dropping C-bombs. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like Madam Sprouts, really like being vulgar. What's going on, man? Do you know what I mean? But no, she's fun.
But yeah, but
She's
she is
super.
cool, isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
You're
was
she's
supposed to be
fun.
drinking like jasmine tea and just being all calm and like
You know what I
knitting
mean?
and just dropping C-bombs.
Yeah,
And to be,
rocking chairs.
and to be fair, like when we were doing it, because like obviously I was in a few of the scenes, like taking the shots and stuff, and like you say about the characters having more development, because I didn't know you were going to be a good guy, even though I was in the scene in the
Yeah.
bedroom where you're counting the money and looking at the pamphlet. I didn't
Hmm.
understand what was going on because I'm seeing things out of context and out of
Oh, of course. Yeah,
timelines. So I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
That's
what
what
was
I mean
going on.
about the twist was so cool. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go too much into spoilers because James, I'm sure James wants to enjoy it, like kind of
You spoil
firsthand.
stuff for me every week. Why stop now?
He's like, just do it, just do it. But no, I get you. Yeah, do you know what it was? I feel like it was designed to throw people off, and even when because it was Trish that reached out to me about acting in the film.
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a reminder to say we love and appreciate you all for listening to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, follow, as this really helps us continue to progress and improve the content and keeps us making these fun episodes for you guys. Oh, we're also on these things called Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us there too, as we share short, funny reels on the reg that you can share with friends if you like. Now, back to the mayhem.
And originally they wanted me to play the other character, the actual bad character.
Oh,
JJ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in my eyes, I think he's worse than
Oh,
what
yeah,
my
he's dark. Yeah.
Wasn't his name
yeah,
Kevin as well in the
Kevin,
film?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Always
Shit name,
scummy
innit?
people. If
We're
they're called
talking
Kevin,
about
Kev.
scum.
You got to shorten it to Kev. You know what I mean? More palatable
Yeah.
that way. You know what I mean? But
That's true, yeah. We'll just call you K. We'll just call you K
Kev.
from now on.
Isn't in that movie there's something about Kevin as well?
Yeah, everyone.
And he's a
little
Kevin's
weirdo.
weirdo.
There's a lot of films. There's a lot of films that start off with something about, isn't it? Something about Mary, something about Kevin,
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
others. But have you noticed though, when it comes to people giving people nicknames, they usually don't go with the last part of someone's name. Like no one calls you Vin, do they?
No.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
could try and make that work.
Vin.
Vin. Love that. We'll just
Yeah,
call
you're
him
good company, man. Do you know what I mean?
Or just call you Ah.
Vin
Yeah,
Scott.
I get jar sometimes, which I mean, I don't mind being called
That's
God.
better.
Do you know what I mean? That's quite a compliment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Oh.
yeah. So jar is like that's the Rastafarians. That's what their word for God, isn't it? So for
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
but my dad
Okay.
was a Rasta, so it's like jar, Elijah. People call that's like God. So I'm like, I don't mind being called God.
That was it.
Yeah.
I saw
I'll be
you.
your god for the day, you know.
I saw that you were saying that you had lots of different heritage in you, like you had Scottish and Irish in you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm half Jamaican, and then there's Scottish, Irish, and English on both sides. So
Oh,
it's-
amazing.
yeah, it's fun, man. It's interesting. You know, like it's. I've not been to Scotland or Ireland, but I've been to Wales 4 times, so I don't understand that. To be honest, but it's. But at
Well,
some
I'm
point,
Scottish. I'm Scottish.
and I remember, yeah, man. Like it's just it's Scotland and Ireland. I mean, I'm into hiking. I love Lord of the Rings, and I love Tolkien and forests, and so for me,
Oh, yeah.
not to have gone there doesn't really make any sense. But I do want to change that within the next like 4 or 5 months. I'll get myself
Well,
there.
let's see some nature.
Oh,
Just
absolutely,
before
man.
before we end up moving off the short pictures to the full size movies, can we just mention a couple of Drew's short films he did? My number one in particular is the Kia advert that I think really deserves a sequel.
Oh yeah, that's really kind.
Okay.
Yeah, Elijah, if you didn't know, Drew's an actor as well. I don't know if
Oh,
I met
look at you. Yeah.
For my sins, man. For my sins, like yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing it quite as much, obviously, since my agent dropped me, which is obviously that helps, I guess, to get gigs and whatnot.
It built character.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man.
The Kia advert was the pinnacle of your career, though, I think. It was one of my favourites.
Oh man, I saw
That's
you on the TV about a year ago, and you've cropped up a few times since then.
That's Crime Watch, though, Kev. Different thing.
Threw me for anything. We're just watching TV. Advert popped on, and then you come on. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
What, Drew? Is this me or Drew?
No, that's you, man. That's you.
Oh, I'm invested in Drew's adverts now.
No.
You did the Kia electric one.
Oh,
Drew pops up on telly if you start flicking around the 900s in the channels. Then, like, Drew just pops up.
Well, you know what? What I would say straight away, Drew, is just like, so casting wise, looking at you, I feel like even the space you're in, it looks like you might be on a mission. You know, like an undercover mission. You know, you're basically you're like private security, and the client's in the other room with your partner in this whole mission.
In this scenario,
Maybe you do that in real time.
I got my little headphones in.
That's what I mean. I'm getting that. Are you guys getting that vibe? Like, because obviously you know Drew, but first impressions, that's what I'm seeing right now.
I like that. Hey, if you think I'm a secret agent of some sort, that's cool, man.
You know what vibe I'm getting? The vibe I'm getting is homeless had to get a hotel.
Yeah, do you know what's crazy? I was looking at my background, right, and it looks like there's loads of dust on the screen and somebody's written on the TV, but that is a bunch of seagulls on the wall made out of like metal, but they're reflected in there. But it just looks like someone's written in the dust. Can you see that?
There's a whole movie going on inside that room, man.
Yeah. This is
that photo under that frame. Is that like what's that? What is that underneath the TV?
That's some bananas over there.
Yeah,
it's quite random.
A photo in the frame as well. Is there like a frame underneath the TV?
Yeah, that's the menu saying like if you want breakfast in bed or like whatever,
It's pretty fancy, man. See what I mean? You got a framed menu. Not everyone's got a framed menu, man.
I've got a menu, man. I'm going up in the world. I've got a menu. I've got choices. I've got options.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all, man.
It is good. It is good.
Yeah,
But hey, man, I'm we're here for you, dude. This is about you.
We're all here, man. We're all here.
To be clear, Drew is in a hotel. He doesn't have like waiters and stuff at his house.
Yeah, I'm really curious now.
That would be good.
He rings the bell and Jeeves comes.
Drew, why are you in a hotel, man? What's going on? I want to know why, Drew. I want to know why you're in a hotel now.
Just make my own little coffees, No.
Yeah. Okay. Is the manor house getting renovations? So you have to stay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The pad's just it's getting all refurbed and So I just thought I'd take some time out, in the hotel.
It's definitely not a travel lodge, is it? That's for sure.
Live it up. It is a vibe, man. This place is. I don't know if I could show you like the seagulls and stuff.
Oh God!
I'm gonna flip the camera.
But it's a beautiful room.
Loses it now.
You screwed your internet.
Yeah. No, it looks nifty.
Talking about acting and stuff like that, like how do you get to both of you, I guess, not James obviously, or me, but as to we don't do fucking acting, man. how do you get on with like auditions and shit like that, man? Because that sounds like the most stressful part of your job.
Of acting. Yeah, do you know what? It's Drew. You wanna go first?
Oh, bro, well, you go for it, bro. You go for it, man.
Oh, cool, bro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also to wrap up what you were saying as well. About the whole the casting process for Ethel. And I guess I'm going to do my best to make this merge into that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm going to do my best to. Yeah. Speaking of what you just said. Yeah. So the reason why, like, this relates to, I guess, what you said or what you asked. The reason why I didn't want to play the character that they originally reached out to me for was because of my nan having dementia. Don't get me wrong, I could definitely play who I see as the bad guy, but I didn't want to play. I wanted to play the hero, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I said to Trish, like, I'd rather play the other character,
and it's a more interesting character as well.
For me, I thought there was more layers and it wasn't as straightforward as what it might appear. So then I insisted on playing that character. And I was quite adamant I wasn't going to do it if I couldn't play that character, sort of thing, And I didn't say it in a demanding way, but I'm saying I made it clear that that's the one I really want to play.
It's still a ballsy move, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because I love working with those guys, and they always have quality productions. So it was like, I don't want to play that other character, and I think they basically.
I think they respect it.
After I said that. Yeah,
I think sometimes they'd respect that. That's like the equivalent to like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson when they sent them the script for True Detective. They originally wanted Matthew McConaughey to read for Woody Harrelson's character, Hart, and he said, "No, I'm much more the Russell Cole." And he was like, "I want to play that role." And they're like, "Okay." And it's like, I sometimes think that the production team or like a writer or director would respect you for saying like your reason behind the character you want to play. But in a way though, dude, you've got to play both, man. Not only like what Kev was saying, that character's so unique and such a kind of complex, really interesting character, but it throws the audience one way. So we feel like you might be the villain, but you're not. So it's really cool because it's like a duality of the character. So
Absolutely.
in a way,
yeah.
you play
Yeah,
both.
no, I felt that. Yeah, I saw that, and for me, that was more why I was keen on doing that, and they were happy with the decision, obviously. Otherwise, they would have just gone in a different direction. And JJ's cool. JJ plays that other character really well, and he's the actor. He played the other character, Kevin.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And in terms of auditions, like I had an audition earlier, just recall for this commercial, and it's interesting too because like the whole idea of because we're just all four guys just having a chat, but it's like it's so similar in the sense of going to an audition where there's other people in the room, like as Drew would have experienced. It's like, you kind of have to, you want to be yourself, but there is an element of performance even before you actually start acting, and
that's deep. Yeah, because they remember you when you come in the room. Like you need to make a good first impression even before the scripts come out or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're in truth mode, you might say something that maybe they don't want to hear, like because you like be yourself, but then people don't want to hear everything.
Yeah, don't be too much yourself. Like be a version of yourself. That's why people say that. Be a version of yourself. Like what version?
I'm telling you, I'll give you guys a story, man. I think I had to learn altogether for the 2 different auditions. I had like 21 pages to learn.
Oof.
So which
For
is
an
just
audition.
yeah, man. Like when I added the pages up, it was a lot, man. It was like 3 scenes each character. And it's like, and then I've got to go there and like obviously do this in person. That's why I do prefer self tapes because I feel like there's no pressure. Do you know what I mean?
You
like
can prep at home, and then it's not like traveling, and then the anxiety of getting in the room and all that jazz. And
and the thing is with self tapes, it's like you can do, if you got 3 scenes, learn scene 1, bang it out. Don't think about it. Scene 2, bang it out. But when you obviously go to an audition, you have to have 3 scenes in your head strapped, ready to go. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Did they do the really annoying thing where they go, and which one of the 4 did you want to prepare for?
Oh,
and
man,
you're like, what? I learned
not with that one. But that's the thing, like when it comes to truth mode, so it was like my second, so it was a recall, but then they wanted me to see me for another character. So then it's all good. I get on really well with the casting director, and it's just all good vibes every time I go there. So they always get me in for quality projects.
Nice.
I got to the audition early. I was organised, but I didn't do any sprinting through the street and sweating and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I literally got there with ample time. And then all of a sudden, I needed to, it might have been maybe like a violent curry I had the night before, but I needed to release some demons, right?
Yeah.
So
kids up at the pool.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to the toilet, which was very pleasant, very soft toilet roll, like it's a nice place.
Lovely.
And so and then when I'm in there, I'm like, because I like to wear rings, right? And it doesn't suit the character, I believed at the time, to have rings. So, you start getting into character physically too, right? So I took off, it's got me down. I had this really cool gorilla ring with like black sort of shiny eyes. Like they look like kind of like diamonds, but they're not. So I haven't made it. Yeah. I mean, but so it's this gorilla ring. So then what happened was on the toilet, and then I finished doing what I was doing. I was taking my rings off, and then the gorilla ring dropped down the toilet.
Oh.
Right? So then, and I haven't flushed yet. So it's kind of like a moment where I looked down the toilet. I stood up, I looked down the toilet, and I was tempted to just let it go, right? And then I had to remember where I'm from and and not be above myself. So I had to fish the ring out, right? So, I didn't think about it too much. I just grabbed the ring, fished it out, and then I started to sanitize it. I was washing it in the sink, right? So I'm like pouring water over it. I'm washing it in the sink, like vigorously. Do you know what I mean? I got class. Can't just rinse it once, It fell in the toilet.
Two times.
Do you know what I mean? So then I did flush, and then as I'm cleaning the ring, like it dropped down the plug hole of the actual sink, right? But it's caught, like it's a weird one. It's like those ones that kind of expand, like the plug holes, right? So now I get the incense stick, and I'm attempting to fish it out of the plug hole in the sink, right? And then the incense breaks, and then before I know it, like it's gone forever. So all this happened in like 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So
this
all this
is like
happened.
A comedy sketch. This is not real.
Did this happen in real life, or is part of a funny film?
No, this really happened, man. This really happened.
Incense sticks down the plug hole.
It's great that they had it incense.
It's good quality incense. It's quality incense as well. So hopefully, hopefully.
Why did you have incense on you?
No, they
No,
had
he didn't have it.
insects.
He was
That's
in
what
the
I mean.
The
This
smelly
is
stick.
oh, no,
Right.
this is like this is a proper this is a serious casting place, you know. This is like high end casting, yeah. And they got incense in the toilets. Do you know what I mean?
That,
And so when I've lost the ring, I thought, you know, it is what it is. I wash my hands. I got a few minutes left before the audition starts. I go upstairs, and then they like, oh, we're ready to see you. So as I walk through, I shake everyone's hand, and then I proceed to tell them what just happened. So I figure maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do because I've just like told them what I was doing, and then I've obviously shook their hands. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, did the audition, smashed it, and then once we're finished, I came out and I was kind of lingering a little bit. I was like, I had a bag I was sorting out, and then I thought, let me just pop to the toilet, not to look for the gorilla ring because that's gone, it's lost in the pipes. It is what it is. But as I've gone to the toilet, I see the actual like producer basically coming out of the toilet. I figure he probably just washed his hands after I shook his hand because I told him the story about what took place. So it does happen. Do you know
whoa.
what I mean? So it is
Wait,
what it
wait.
is.
You shared that story with the audition
That's what I'm saying.
panel.
Like, so I shook their hands, then I told them what just happened. So I
Whoa.
think maybe I don't know. Maybe they felt like it wasn't the nicest thing to do.
Was
But
this today? Is this the one today?
no, this is for a
This
show
was
that I did for
previously.
like a year ago. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I mean,
Did you
yeah,
get it?
I didn't. I definitely didn't get that one. No, but
No,
I
I didn't
mean,
think you
it
would
is what
have.
it is. Yeah, but if they
I
really
mean, talk
like you,
about
surely,
transparency. I
yeah.
was literally about to say, like, what's the most kind of like embarrassing kind of like audition that you've been to or that you've had to
Oh,
do?
man.
I mean, that part of it seems pretty intense. I'll tell you one quick one of mine.
Yeah.
This was I swear this was for like kind of like you know, like crunchy nut cornflakes or something like that. I swear it was something like that.
Yeah.
So when I read the script, they're like, we want you all in G-strings. I'm like, are you actually kidding? So basically what it is the guy, I don't know why the guy's in a G-string or something like, but basically he's eating cereal or something. Something's happened and he needs to be in a G-string. And I was saying to my mate, like, so I have to borrow, well, I don't think my missus had a G-string. So like, I had to borrow whatever was available to me. And I couldn't believe, I swear to God, in an audition, I'm in my wife's underwear and
Wow.
sat there like eating cereal. And I remember saying to my agent, this is the most cringe thing I've ever done in my life. Like,
Yeah,
because
that's crazy.
if you don't get it, right, you've literally been sat in a pair of knickers eating cereal. So you just feel like a complete asshole.
In front
And
of strangers as
very
well,
well-
not even at a secret party. That's crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna lie,
it-
Drew. This
it's
sounds like
fine.
the sort of audition that the police may have raided, and
Yeah,
but it
not
also
had
sounds-
anything to do with Kellogg's.
This is the thing. Like, have you ever heard of actually, Elijah, you must have heard of what's it called? Fiery Hawk. You know the guy that does the mock audition?
Fuck, no, I don't know, man.
Dude, I'll send you a link to it, man. It's the
Yeah,
funniest
yeah.
thing because it's like, it's this guy goes into an audition and the director kind of takes the piss out of him and says like, oh, you know, you're going through the desert, you're walking, you're really tired. And he's like, and then this massive hawk just flies down, and then he's like, it's doing you from behind, and he's like, what? And it's like, yeah, and then another
you know
hawk
what?
comes.
Yeah, funny. As soon as you said doing it from behind, I think I've seen this. That triggered a memory in my brain.
Yeah,
Because it's so extreme.
and
So,
so
I think
it
I think
is the most hilarious, and like you just feel so sorry for that guy. And I'm like, I think we've all had really awkward auditions where
Mhm.
when the casting team get together at Christmas, they just have a bunch of like drinks and just play all of these tapes at our expense, and they're
reckon
absolutely
so.
just having an absolute laugh and go, look what we made this guy
Oh,
do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look,
I mean, yeah,
look
because some
what
of
he's
these.
doing.
Well, so I need to know how this audition wrapped up, man. Like, so did you just sit
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
for
So I got
few
down to the
minutes?
last two.
Yeah, yeah.
I got down to the last two.
I don't think you got it. I don't think you got this one.
I said,
What,
to my
you did a recall? Was there a recall for this?
I did, yeah, the recall was in your knickers, like so, like
okay.
at
Yeah,
least
yeah, yeah.
at least
Of course.
the recall was in my knickers, and I thought with the price tag, I'm like, I'm gonna get in my knickers, like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Did
do
they
it.
give you 50 quid as well? Because you know most recalls you get.
Yeah, I got my
50
50 quid. I got my 50 quid.
That's something.
I got my
Do you know
fresh
what I mean?
knickers on. I'm doing it and eating the cereal, and the cereal was rank as well, and also the milk was really warm because it had been
Oh,
out the
no.
whole time. I was like, guys, come on, like I'm in my knickers. The least you could do is give me cold milk,
Dude,
like
I
at least.
hope it was milk, man. I'm just saying.
Whoa. Yeah, I
It
hope
sounds
so.
touching.
I'm lactose as well, though, dude. I should have said, is this oat milk? But I didn't want to kick up a fuss.
Oh, man.
But then I think they told my agent, and I said to them in advance, I said, listen, I don't think this is going to go my way because I'm really hairy, like I'm half wolf. And I was thinking the idea of a hairy dude in knickers eating cereal, you're just going to picture my hair falling in the cereal and it's going to put you off the cereal.
Yeah.
And I pretty much think that was what the feedback was. My agent was like, I think they think you might be a bit hairy. I'm like, I think they know that, like, when I'm coming in. So don't get me in my knickers and eat cereal in front of you.
That is risky.
there's
You're
any
lactose
sort
intolerant
of-
wearing a G-string.
Yeah, I know.
I would say if there's any people planning a hen do and are short of ideas and have got a spare 50 quid, Drew's willing to come and pour milk down himself in a G-string. So
For 50 quid, you'll do
My
anything.
milkshake brings all the people to the
no
audition.
shame.
No, but the thing is
All
though,
right.
like, I'm solutions based. They could have just waxed you, man.
True, man. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
40-year-old
you know?
virgin.
Yeah, that would have been brutal. I would have done it though. I would have taken the red marks, like I would have taken the pain for the price tag for sure.
Right, that's what I
See, the
mean.
weird
like, so
thing
it's
is,
just-
like, Elijah's story is, like, fully gross, and so is yours, really, but Elijah...
It's like we're trying to gross each other out. It's like,
But
Yeah.
Elijah's grossness was behind the scenes. Like,
that's true. Yeah, mine is being recorded, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a
Can you-
video of you in a G-string eating
Yeah.
cereal somewhere.
That's
Yeah, it
what
exists.
I'm saying, guys. That's
So-
why I'm.
£1 cash reward to anyone can
No,
get
so,
that
yeah,
video.
Kevin's got a good point. To be fair, I could have kept all that to myself. You didn't really have a choice because
Yeah.
actually that was the
Yeah.
audition. But it's
Yeah, I mean, mine was like seriously like transparent in having to actually do it, whereas yours was just like honesty and transparency.
So-
in
Yeah,
And
bravery.
they said to me, they said, "What have you been up to today?" I said, "I've just been fishing my ring out of the toilet, and then I lost it down the sink, and then I was cleaning it, and then the incense. I said it's gone now. Though even the cast director said, he goes, if you want, we can get that out of the pipes if you want. I was like, is he really gonna do that? But maybe he would have. We get on quite well, but I said, nah, man, it's cool, like, you know. But here's what it is. But when I didn't get, do you know what I did say to them? I said, well, you know, lose a ring, get a part. You know,
Nice.
I said that to them. They kind of like half laughed, and I was just like, all right, let me just get serious and like.
But like,
perform.
if you didn't get the part, you should have come back and just started taking apart the sink just to
I
try
should
and
have.
get
I
the
should
ring.
have said, look. I should have come back a week later and said to the cast director, look, mate, I didn't get the role. I want my fucking ring back.
I want my ring back, bro.
You know what I mean? That was a £50 ring, man. I want my ring back. But yeah, it is what it is.
Drew's
back.
just got PTSD from like Special K now. Every time
Yeah.
someone goes to a B&B and they bring that out, he starts crying into his bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
talk to my
I'm guessing
therapist about being in knickers eating cereal every time
this
now.
wasn't
Like, that's-
recently. This was like years ago, right?
It was last
guessing
Thursday.
Was it this morning? Oh,
Have
Christ.
you- have
No,
you-
'cause it adds to the chaos. It's brilliant. I don't mind. Do you know?
Kev, my screen's frozen, so I look dead from my point of view. Am I still moving on your screen?
oh no,
I thought you switched off, James.
Yeah, what?
It looks like I've just died. Like,
You
You
look
look
like
like
the milk in my
found out-
cereal.
You've had
What?
enough of
What?
this talk. Yeah,
Does your eye look normal still, or is it just like a really annoying
Yeah, it's just-
noise?
You look like you've had enough.
it's like the worst face, isn't it? It's
I
like,
think
it's
what's
like,
great
it's
about the
like
face
one of
though,
the police photos where they've already killed me, but they've kind of sat me up.
it's like we can CGI arms onto you doing different things, like you're
You put,
holding
like,
a
some
massive
eyes on me or something.
Someone, you guys
I
need to
don't know why I'm
screenshot
making
this.
gestures. You can't see me.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna screenshot his face and just CGI different hands doing things there, man. I might put you in a G-string eating cereal, dude.
Hey,
Just do
50
it, man.
quid and I'll do it.
Yeah.
it's more
Mankinis.
engaged in some episodes.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, this happens occasionally when we've got a guest on because it adds to like the I don't know bandwidth
lights.
or something. I don't know something.
Yeah, the
happens.
ambiance
But
of the
anyway,
conversation.
So my mate,
Yeah.
I can't believe this. So some guys created a musical for like off Broadway or somewhere in London called Naked Boys Sing.
Mhm.
And my mate, who was my flatmate at the time, kept saying, I'm probably gonna have to get naked at one point because I mean, you know, the name of the title of the show is a bit of a giveaway, like Naked Boys Sing. I mean, if we're not, it's kind of false advertising. I was like, yeah, that's awkward, bro. Yeah, I was like, yeah, how do you feel about that? He's like, I don't know, man. I guess it's, you know, it's down to what happens, isn't it? I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he told me, he's like, well, for the recall, he's like, they want us in comfortable underwear, and I was like, that sounds ominous, dude. I was like, okay. So he said it was the most awkward thing in his life. So he gets down to like the last part, right? Literally. And they say, so we need to see how comfortable you are being naked. As like he said, the panel got bigger. I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised because now there's naked people involved. So he said he started off like 3 or 4 people, and at the point where he has to take everything off, there's like 7 or 9 people now on the panel, like producers, like everybody's there, like directors, like everyone connected to the production, probably their family members. I don't know. And basically he gets bollock naked, and he does the scene and everything, and they're like, "Thank you very much."
Oh, wait, pause. Should I leave and reconnect as well?
Just marking that as a pause.
Should I leave and reconnect as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Guys, do you know what's really awkward? I'm so sorry about that whole thing with Jenny. I tried to like shut it down on my computer, but somehow it's overriding.
That's all right, man.
But I said you can hopefully call. I said you can hopefully call him after 8-ish.
Messaged. Well, that's it. If you've blocked the phone or stopped the phone, it's coming through the laptop.
No. I'm trying to block the.
I'm back.
Because it's the iPhone. Oh yeah, he is. He's moving. He's alive. It's because Doug has access to my iPhone. Sorry, my iPad. She's trying to call the iPad, which is connected to this. But I tried to stop this Mac, but because she's calling him, it's still, dude, you're giving me epilepsy, man.
Have you messaged Matey Boy, see if he's come back?
Yeah.
He's had enough of Drew talking about naked guys.
Yeah, that's probably, I probably scared him off with a load of bollocks.
Yeah, so for the listener, Elijah was frozen for a second and disappeared. But there
we thought you were sick of Drew just talking about naked dudes and
yeah. I saw he's had enough of my bollocks. I mean, not my bollocks, but yeah.
I was like, fuck this. No joking. No, guys. No, guys.
He's like, if a naked girls sing, I'd be well up for it. But naked boys, I mean, you've got the wrong audience here. No,
that's what I was like. Right, I'm checking out. No,
Special K.
My phone.
I think. Your phone couldn't handle it. Your phone got so hot after this conversation.
My phone overheated and just it said it won't work, so I had to turn it off, turn it back on again.
Okay.
Gave James a chance to refresh, so he doesn't look like.
He doesn't look like a dangerous mugshot. He's actually moved. He's moving.
I'm glad you came back. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, we're having a whale of a time.
I missed the end of your story, man.
Not coming on this.
I missed the end of that story, there, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know where you previously were on Naked Boys Sing. Previously on Naked Boys.
You're at the comfortable underwear bit.
Yeah, no, it's not me. I'm not in the comfortable underwear. He's in comfortable underwear.
So
so did you get? Did I say like the panel got bigger?
So you said that he went back for the second one. You was even telling him it's a bit vague, the whole like comfortable underwear.
So he wasn't so. He said basically he's worried that he's going to have to get Starkers for it in order to get the part. And then it gets down to like the recall, like it's like the last stage. And he was saying that the panel of like the casting panel was even bigger than the previous one. So it was like there was 2 or 3, and in this time there's like 7 or 9 of them. And I'm thinking that's just a bit suspect. Like the day that everybody gets naked, there's more people turning up.
Yeah, like people have come out of the office to
exactly. They're like
to be there. You know?
It's like you know what day it is. Yeah, it's recall day for Naked Boys Sing.
Yeah,
I'm there.
One could be
suspicious. With bells on or bell ends on. And basically, I think he was saying that there's different kind of characters in there. There's one character that's a Jew, so they were casting a Jew that had to be circumcised, and that's part of it. So like you can imagine on that day, like they're just checking literally different dongs. And they're checking
how far are you willing to go for this part?
Well, this is what I'm saying, man. The continuity of the dongs to fit in with the story. I was like, that's pretty serious. But anyway, long story short, he does it. He gets his kit off. It's all good. He does the scene and everything, and then he comes back home and he was having what was it? It was the next day or something. He's having a drink and he's saying, I feel like I've just been violated. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, he's like, not only did I not get the part, but I was stood naked, like moving around and doing all these crazy things in front of like 7 to 9 people.
Man,
he didn't even get the part, and it's like, so I feel my story being in knickers is actually all right in comparison to having the whole lunchbox out.
Was it because they had a bit of toilet paper stuck in his foreskin?
Oh yeah, like Joey style.
Joey, that reminded me of the episode of Friends completely. The salami, was it salami or something? Didn't
No,
he
I
put
think it was
salami
his
down there?
real. Oh yeah, I think he used a bit of sausage or whatever.
It's
Sausage.
Joey,
meat.
Joey's always got salami that's
Yeah.
hanging around. Like he's always.
Because isn't it? Monica's like, I've got some sausage meat we can put around it, and he's like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What made that whole story worse, though, is he came back to you, sobbing his eyes out about how he'd been violated, and you're just sat there making eye contact in your thong, eating a big bowl of Special K.
I'm not eating cereal in my fucking
Like,
back at the front.
I feel your pain.
If I'm there, like, just rehearsing the scene, like, dude, I know, man.
Well,
Look,
Drew, do you know what it is? I mean, you know, I think James was thinking that once you've gone down that direction, there was no other way to eat cereal going forward.
Well, that's true, man. Every time I have cereal, in fact, now I have to wear my wife's
The
underwear.
same pair. Yeah.
That's
And
why
then
Drew
you-
has to have
and then
room
you shit
service. He's not
yourself.
allowed in the restaurant.
Yeah, and then you
Whoa,
shit
whoa.
yourself because you're lactose intolerant, and then Elijah
Whoa.
comes along and picks his ring out of it.
Drew,
It's
I'm
all
just saying,
connected.
Drew, there's a market for that sort of, you know.
I'm sure there is, man.
viewing.
Well, look,
Yeah.
if women can sell farts in jars or like breast sweat into like little tubes for 50 grand, then you know I'm sure people want to see people pick rings out of poo, or you know,
Equality, man. Yeah, equality. That's what it's
you know,
about. I'm with you, man. I'm with
guys, hairy guys in G-strings eating cereal, man.
I had
Yeah,
no
I-
idea.
I feel like this is a good segue though, talking to like G-strings and things like that, and like
Yeah,
dressing
Where's
up
this
like
going?
Batman. You know, Batman.
But
wears
before we get
tight.
into Batman, I had no idea this.
So we get into Batman.
This was
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I didn't think we would talk about this stuff, but it's great, man. It's all,
No,
it's all
yeah,
Yeah,
related.
I didn't know we were going to go down this route, but
It's all related, you know.
I know you're a good laugh, but I kind of thought we would go almost professional and actually interview a little bit about stuff. And I knew it was never going to work out, but I didn't think we were going to get into these sort of stories.
All right, man. That's
Just-
this stuff's more fun.
It just seems like most of Drew's stories end in tears. It's like,
And knickers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
that's a true story. It's a true story.
Speaking of knickers and underwear, Batman, I think is a good.
Yeah,
is a
man.
good-
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like tight, you know, like clothing and
So starting
Yeah.
from the beginning, how did you even get involved in that? It sounds like your guy that promotes you
Yeah.
is putting you into decent stuff anyway, like you said before. So
Yeah. That was an agent I had at the time. She's a great agent. You know, I'm not with her anymore, but it was good at the time, and yeah, I've got a lot of respect for her. She got me an audition for one of the characters, and yeah, I remember going to the audition, and yeah, it was quite simple because there was a you know a decent bit of lines, and then it's one of the ones where you know I've been acting professionally for quite some time, and I said to myself like you know I don't want to do something where I'm not there's not as much significance. I know everyone's equally as important, but just from a personal standpoint, it's like you know I don't want to just play like a character that doesn't do much, you know. But it was the leader of this group that was gonna have a scene with Batman. So I was like, oh, Miss Batman, I can't like I'm gonna go. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I remember like all of us, as far as I know, in that gang auditioned for the leader of the gang, right? Because he had the meat, you know, the meat on the
Yeah.
bones was the leader. You know, all of us want to be that character. So
Yeah.
do the audition, then they say, oh, you know, they didn't want you for that character, but they still want you to be a part of the gang. And there's gonna be like, so then now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is cool, but what we actually like, what you know, what we doing? And then I remember I went to the actual. Like you know when we find out exactly what we're doing, and you see the red writing, you know, make it real. All of a sudden it becomes like serious because like the pages are a certain color, and the writing isn't black; it's red. So you're like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
you can't,
yeah. The
yeah, you
secret
can't share
script.
this. Yeah, you can't share. You can't tell
You
anyone.
can't
You can't-
photocopy them. Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Does that? Do they stop you from photocopying them? When
That's
they're
why
red
they're
writing?
red because you can't photocopy
Wait, was
them.
it-
They won't send.
Ah.
was it a different title? So when they sent you the scene, like it might have just been called Man in the
Oh,
Sky,
it
or
was.
like it's not-
Yeah, I can't remember. It was something. Yeah, it's that kind of vibe where it's
Yeah.
not. It's not what. Yeah,
it's not
it
the real
changes.
title. Yeah.
You know it's Batman,
yeah.
but the paperwork doesn't say Batman. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like that. And I remember I went to the studio, and they had quite a few comics there. You know, I think that they made it a thing to have the comics, like Batman comics, there when I got there, and was just reading through it, and then I saw that okay, here's the leader with the meat, and then there's the other members of the group also have lines. So then it became a thing where it was like, okay, so there's like several gang members, and like two of them have lines. So then it was like, who's getting these lines? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was interesting too because it's like, you know, so we went through the process of it all, and we at this point we still don't know. Even when we got to like rehearsals, we didn't know which ones. Like, so I met the gang, everyone was cool. We didn't know who was going to be saying the lines. You know
Was
what
it
I'm
like
saying?
a
So,
short straw? Whoever got the short straw, or
man, it was funny because I remember with Matt Reeves, who's great, a great guy. Like, he was really nice and really sweet to work with. And I remember when we was on set now, like when we are going through the rehearsal process, I remember talking to one of the guys, and I was like, "All right, so I'm gonna say this line," and then I said, and then like he's like, "Yeah, I'll do this one," and then like literally when it came to it, but imagine, guys, we're standing there, and there's several of. By the way, half the gang are stuntmen, and half of them are like
oh
actors.
wow,
Right?
yeah,
And
Ah,
so all the physicality you saw, aside from the gang leader, was the stunt guys. So
okay,
even though we trained, like we were doing quite a bit of training, we were all learning to roll, and they wanted to see what kind of skill sets we had. We did loads of training, which was a lot of fun. However, none of us really got to do any of it. Like we just fall over basically. Like we didn't get to have a fisticuffs. It was all the stunt guys that got to do that. But and of course the gang leader, Elliot Warren, really good actor. And so basically, like yeah. So now we're there in rehearsals. Matt Reeves then says, right. So we're going through it. And it's like, so who wants to do this line? And I looked around, and no one said anything. I was like, I'll do it.
nice.
Do you know what I mean? We're actors. I'm surprised that like no one else was like
I know. I thought it was
quick.
something
Give me
that
the
you,
line. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
put him on fight
You
for
know,
that.
he's asking like who wants to do the line, like, and I'm like, because I already had the line, and then I'm looking at the guys. No one's like, no, I'll do it. Like I'm acting like this took ages. This was probably like a split seconds. Do you know what I mean? But like no one else said it. So I'm like, I'll do the line because no one's speaking up. So yeah, the process it was great. It was such an experience because as you can imagine, it's such a big set, and you know the scene itself, like yeah, because of COVID, I shaved my head bald as well
Yeah,
for
man.
the character. Yeah, so it's like
You look
because they did ask
badass.
us.
You look badass.
Well, thank you, bro. Yeah, no, it was fun, man. And I've been bald before, but they did ask the guys. It was like, okay, so who's gonna be? By the way, the way I'm telling this is like this all happened in one day. You can imagine this happened over weeks and
Yeah,
different stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This isn't one room, one day, just like everything happening quickly. Like this is all like we had false teeth. Like we got our own
wow.
sets of teeth done. There's so much. I mean, attention to detail. Obviously, as
Yeah,
you know, the budget was fairly sizable. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So they can afford to to spend a bit of money. And so yeah, false teeth and even the makeup. The first time they did the makeup on us, it looked too immaculate. Like
Wow.
so then there was like I remember Matt was looking at us and he was like, oh yeah, we might need to you might want to like that's just, it just looks too good kind of thing. So then because we're meant to have done the makeup ourselves as the
Yeah,
gang.
yeah,
So it's like, don't get me wrong, there can be some guys that are in the streets getting up to no good who somehow are really good at doing fantastic, immaculate makeup. But it's more realistic to have it a bit messy. Do you know what I mean? And
Definitely.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, like, so, yeah, with false teeth and all that stuff. And the whole bald head, they asked the guys who doesn't mind shaving their head bald. And obviously, a few of the guys were like, I'll shave it, but bald, I don't know about that. Me, I was like, I'll do it. Like, I don't care. I don't
Whoa.
mind. Shave it bald. And then what happened was obviously COVID was like started to exist, and so then we had breaks in between. So then every time I came back, I had to shave my head bald again.
Oh shit.
So that was quite an interesting
That's
experience.
a
And then
big
eventually,
commitment.
yeah, yeah, eventually, what happened was the last time they was like, right, this is the last time we're gonna get you guys back. We need to just wrap up a few things. And I was like, cool. So I asked my agent like a couple of nights before. I said, "Can you ask them if I can get like a head cap, like a skull cap? Because I've been shaving my head bald on and off for months, and like it's affecting. Like I'm just a bald. I'm just bald. Like, do you know what I mean? So like I'm, you can be bald and be diverse, but it helps to be diverse when you can grow your hair a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So and and because I've got a young face with a bald head, I think it's confusing to ask them.
You just look like a baby now.
Do you
With
know what
a
I mean? Like, yeah,
yeah,
when someone's got a baby face but they're jacked, it's like they don't know
yeah,
how
yeah,
to
yeah.
read you. It's weird, right? So my agent said, yeah, leave it with us. The agent, one of the agents I had, like they said, leave it with us. And then I got to set, and the makeup ladies, I said, am I getting the skull cap then? And the lady's like, the makeup lady's like, what skull cap? And I'm like, my agent goes, no, I haven't heard a message. He goes, don't worry though, Elijah, it's fine. I mean, these are Oscar-winning makeup artists. Like they're
Yeah.
amazing. Like it's a skull cap's really not hard for them to do. They do it with their eyes
No.
closed. Do you know what I mean? So, long story short, after about 25 minutes, skull cap went to set. Everyone was like, bro, it looks exactly the same. I'm like, I know. I mean, that means the whole time I could have just had the skull cap. Anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, but that was fun. I mean, and the white makeup and everything, and
Yeah.
it was such an experience. I mean, I had a little bit more to do than what was seen because I did actually have lines, but then it fizzled. You know, for whatever reason, they just do what they
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
do to make the vision work.
Editing
And
floor or whatever. Like, yeah.
yeah, like and aside from the young gang member and the leader, we're not there to stand out. Like we're there to be there. We're not there to be highlighted or anything like that. So I understood
Yeah,
that at the time. And
yeah.
yeah, Robert Pattinson was really cool to work with. Really
Nice.
nice guy. Like he's just he's excitable and just focused. And that scene in the rain, man. Like I remember, like it was so many takes, man. But I get it because there's so many moving parts and there's just like you can imagine there's so many people on set. Like they've got to get it right. And
Yeah,
yeah,
tons of
it
Rain
was
different
machine
angles.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
man. That rain felt Icelandic. I don't know where they got that water from, man. Imported from from Bjork's garden or something, man. It was
but
cold, man. It was cold.
but you
It's like a Wim Hof test. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was cold.
but you
But they
see,
kept
like
us warm.
the thing you were saying before is that you're saying you're used to in other films being a bigger part and having a bigger role and a more
Yeah,
pivotal part, but now you're in, which technically is a massive blockbuster of a huge franchise. So
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with taking a smaller seat in those sort of things to get your foot in the door.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
yeah.
also that scene, like James brought it up because James watched it only recently, and I was like, the guy I know's in that film. He's like, where? And so I had to tell
Oh,
him,
that's
and
cool.
it's such a pivotal scene in the film. So you could
Yeah,
have been a little bad guy in any scene where he just gets thrown and ignore. You didn't even see the face. You had a
yeah.
pivotal scene in the most. It was the most anticipated Batman in ages because it was brand new. It was a new
Hmm.
Batman. Everyone's judging him. Is he going to be any good or not? And
Yeah,
that scene where all you fuckers come out and you're proper little scumbags, and Batman comes in. He doesn't even say he's Batman. It's like, I am vengeance. And
yeah,
it's like
man.
everyone's like, oh yes, he's nailed it. Oh, this is so good. And it's
Hmm.
fighting you guys, and that's like one of the best scenes in the entire film. I'm not saying that because you're here. It
Oh no, but I
really
know what you
is.
mean. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah. No.
entrance of the new Batman. And
I'd go out on a limb
It's
and
a piece
say
of history, man.
it's the only Batman film that is purely geared to adults. I think. I don't think a little kid would watch it.
Mm.
I think they get not bored, but I don't think they really get it. Whereas you could watch a kid in Dark Knight Rises or something. There's a lot of action all the time. There's very few slow bits. Whereas this was like completely different. It was almost a detective movie, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, definitely. Like
And
it
then
felt noir, like wasn't it like sort
Yeah,
of
man.
yeah,
thriller, detective noir vibes? And yeah, I mean, originally we was meant to go to Chicago as well to film that scene.
Wow.
was
It
it
was meant
in?
to be.
Where did it film? In Liverpool?
Was it?
No, oh yeah, no, they did film partially in Liverpool, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's because of that gothic look, and I believe they might have filmed in Edinburgh. I remember talks of them filming in
they
Edinburgh,
did. They did scenes in Glasgow. I know
in
that.
Glasgow. Okay, yeah,
They might have done
Scotland for sure.
Edinburgh as well, but
Did,
definitely
Yeah.
did. Yeah, because opposite. I live near Liverpool, so I
Oh,
saw
wicked.
where they did it. It's literally opposite the train station. Where
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you
it's
film
that it's
then?
that gothic look.
Where
So
was your?
yeah, so we was just at the studios, man. We
Oh, it was
was
the
at
sound
the
stage.
yeah the Leavesden Studios. So
nice.
just outside Watford, like their main hub where they have
Yeah.
like it's just massive. Like I know the Harry Potter what experience is there as well, and
Sick.
it's
So
a
is
lot,
that where they
man.
did all
Yeah.
the train sequences and stuff in there? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So we was gonna go to
ah,
Chicago. That was the plan. Like we was gonna go Chicago, and we was excited about it. It was like great. And some of the stunt guys, they're a bit more experienced in things changing. So like I remember one of the guys was like, "We'll see what happens." Like, do you know what I mean? And I remember being like, "Man, that's negative, bro." And he's like, "Bro, things change, man." And it's like he was a fortune teller or something because that's exactly what happened. It
yeah,
changed, and because obviously they've got the budget. They just built what we were gonna go and film in Chicago. They just built it. Like, do you know what I mean?
that's
Like
insane.
That is so
that's the
cool.
kind of budget we're talking, man. Like, and it's yeah, it was as you know, when you work with people like that, it does become a family, because it's so you spend so much time together, and even being small cogs in a massive machine, like you're around and you get to know people, and yeah, it was exciting. And the thing, yeah, if you're gonna have a part like that is, as some people might say, small part, why not make it in something like that, and
Mate,
something iconic,
Damn, man.
you
Yeah.
it's
know?
did
great
you
for the. Sorry.
so did you see Barry Keogh's Joker obviously at the end?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he initially auditioned to be the Riddler. and he did a little video of him doing a scene up a corridor and that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a scene I saw earlier of a certain someone dancing up a corridor. Might have been you. He did a little high kick at the end.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man, you should have just gone for the Riddler.
Watching your show reel.
Oh, Cage
Yeah.
Fighter. Yeah. That was Cage Fighter, man. That was fun.
Green suit, you'd have been on it.
Yeah, that's quality.
Was that Cage Fighter with Josh Barnett?
Yeah. Oh no. That was so Cage Fighter had John Moxley in it. It might be John Moxley you're thinking of.
Yeah, from wrestling. Yeah.
It really nice guy as well. We shot that in Canada.
Wow.
Most of it. We shot most of that in Canada. Like the interior scenes were in Canada, and the exterior scenes were in the UK, and it was meant to all be in the UK, mostly apart from an LA scene.
That
How
wouldn't have been a
bizarre. That seems
WWE
expensive
film
in
then,
the
would it?
opposite
That would have
way.
been because he's not in that anymore. Because they have their own studio, don't they, where they put these wrestlers in films and.
I think people assume that, because he's the antagonist in the film. I think people just assumed, oh, it must have been funded by AEW, which is the organization he's with. But no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a wrestling film. But he's quality, man, and he's a really nice guy to be around and just pleasant. And obviously working with Chuck Liddell was fun as well.
Oh,
Chuck's the character, man.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, Chuck's fun, man. Chuck will visit us on set sometimes and just be having fun, man. Even when he's not filming, like do you know what I mean? Like he just has his friends. If a friend of his with him, and he's just fun to work with, man. It was cool, and that film was, well, yeah. Like I went to a place called Regina to film that, and yeah, when I arrived, I was saying Regina. They're like, it's Regina, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to be polite, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? but it's called. Yeah, they call it the City of Fun.
Yeah, so when people come up to somebody, I'm really happy to be in Regina. It's like big pun.
I think they've heard it all, man. They've heard it all,
marriage.
man. Like, but the thing is, it's cool because I think the equivalent, because people were asking me, like, because I was there for like 3.5 weeks doing this film, right? And people come up to me, they're like, you come all the way to Canada and you come to Regina? And I'm like, yeah, because they expect you to go to like Montreal or you know what I'm saying, like Toronto.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like probably coming from Canada, coming to the UK, and instead of going to like Edinburgh or London, maybe you go to like Scagness or Frinton or somewhere like that, and people just Regis, or like people just, or Guildford, like people like, you're in the UK. There's so many places you could go, and you've gone to Guildford. But I really enjoyed it, guys, because it's rural. It was rural. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like old Canada because
it's really weird you say that. We've got a podcast fan and has been a guest on.
We don't have any fans.
And she has a mannequin called Regina.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Man.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a brand of toilet roll over in this country called Regina. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, when COVID happened, I was sending my Regina friends pictures of the toilet roll. So
yeah, send us them, man.
Yeah, they liked it, man.
How was working with Gina Gershon?
Yeah,
I just saw her on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She plays a bad guy in Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a couple of episodes. And and then I saw your page. I was like, what? Just today when I was just having a fresh look, it was like,
yeah, Gina's cool. I had some really good scenes with Gina, man, and like the first time I met Gina was like, so because we have quite a bit of dialogue together, we have quite a few scenes going back and forth. We had dinner together. We went to this steak restaurant, and we just had dinner and we got to know each other, and just seeing what she was like as a person. And then I walked her back to her hotel because Gina was staying in. We were all staying in different hotels.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you know what I mean? Gina was staying in the hotel a bit further down the street. You know what I'm saying?
I'm assuming the reason it was filmed in Canada is because she happened to be in Canada, I'm guessing.
Maybe. Do you know what I mean? But it's interesting. Apparently, it was cheaper. It was cheaper
Really?
it was cheaper to film in Canada in the interior studios than it was to film in the UK. So I believe budget-wise, it made more sense. But I had a great time there, man. I stayed in a Ramada hotel. And Gina stayed in the slightly more upmarket hotel further down, but she's fair enough,
nice.
But she was great, man. She was great, and I remember like when we first did a scene together, I remember everyone was like, "Oh man, it's a big scene, man, it's a big scene," and I'm like, "Big scene," because it's a cage fighting movie. I thought, "Oh, is there like, are they filming like the octagon scene, or is there like a big crowd?" They're like, "Nah, the big scene, man, like with Gina," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah," because I wasn't thinking of it like that. I'm like, "Oh, we're acting like we just." We're just gonna. It's like because they meant because it's a lot of dialogue basically. Do you know what I mean? But Gina's just, yeah. For me, I'm just like, oh, when you say big and it's a fight movie, I'm thinking you mean like there's like gonna be hundreds of people there or something. But no, it wasn't that. It was just us two going back and forth. But
the amount of dialogue, they're always so impressed when people know dialogue. But that's our job. Like we'll hopefully know our dialogue. Otherwise, we're not good at what we do, man.
Yeah, otherwise you're just gonna be stressed, man.
Yes, yeah, it would be very
Yeah,
stressful.
but it was cool, man. I mean, with Gina, like, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's obviously been in the game for such a long time, like, and that's the first time working with her that I saw someone like they would like if she felt like she didn't get it right, she would like stop mid sentence, and then she's like she can pick it up from where she was really quickly, and
Ah,
obviously I know that we've got to do that in the film when you're filming sometimes because to save time, you can't always start
Yeah,
from the
when they
beginning.
change cameras because to speed up, they're like, can you just start on that line rather than doing the whole scene again, or like,
Yeah, but Gina knows exactly where the camera needs to be. She knows about the lighting. She knows where everything needs to be. Like Gina's just,
nice.
yeah, she's on point. I mean, obviously she's been in the game for like 40 something years.
and we
So,
just saw
you
her a
know,
couple of weeks ago in Borderlands playing that.
yep, she was
She
in
was in
that
that.
too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Borderlands. I haven't seen the film yet, but yeah, she was really cool, man. I got on really well with her. We had a laugh, and doing karaoke with Chuck Liddell and Gina Gershon is quite fun. Like,
That's a line, bro. That is a
like,
sentence.
that's pretty
That is
cool,
a
man.
What
quote.
did you sing?
This
What did you
episode.
sing, man? What did you sing?
Yeah, me and Chuck Liddell sang Johnny Cash, "I Walk the Line," which was a lot of fun. I'll find the video and send it to you.
Just
Oh,
a
Yeah.
great.
quick,
Do
just
that.
Kev and Drew. Do you know who Chuck Liddell is?
I know he's a cage fighter. I know he's UFC, isn't he?
I was just talking the whole time. You have no idea who John Moxley or Chuck Liddell are, do you?
I know.
Oh,
I've
man.
heard,
Yeah,
I've
when
heard
you
his name.
It's a lovely story. I'm like just nodding, like I'm.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Chuck Liddell's like badass cage fighter.
He's like old school
X1
UFC
champion.
from like
Oh
15 years
wow.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
back in
the
the day when it
context.
was a specialist sport. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
James will tell you, Chuck was like the face of mixed martial arts at one point. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
big
Well,
time. Big
This is
time.
why I was confused why you didn't get a fight scene in Batman. 'Cause there's a picture of
Oh.
a young man I know.
Yeah, when I saw that,
Who took
when I
that?
saw that shot, I was like, that guy can get his leg high, man. That was like,
cheers,
we
yeah,
doing ballet at drama school. Did you go to drama school? Were you doing ballet? And
You know what?
and
No, my whole family do martial arts. So
oh,
from
sick.
from a young age, like my dad even used to teach the local kids in my area, like to keep them out of trouble in the garden. He used to like from a young age. Everyone in the family, except for my mum, she's a Geordie. She doesn't need martial arts. She
But also,
basically,
if you're doing that in the back garden and people see you, they're like, I ain't gonna mess with him. Look how high his
Oh,
foot
yeah.
goes.
yeah, no, like, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Like I say that if I never got into the acting industry, I probably would have just like been consistent with martial arts and opened up a school. I'd probably just be teaching kung fu right now instead. Like if I never had a taste for
What are your
acting.
favorite kind of martial art films, then, man?
Oh yeah, here we go, guys. We're getting into the movie. yeah. My favorite martial arts movie. So my all-time favorite kung fu film is it's probably like a drum roll for this, isn't it? Yeah, but probably I would say Drunken Master.
Oh, Jackie Chan.
That's
gotta
Jackie
be
Chan, yeah.
Yeah, because for me that ticks. Aside from the only box, I guess some people might think it doesn't tick if they're looking to tick boxes is there is no like special love interests, for Freddie Wong, for Jackie Chan's character. That's probably the only thing maybe some people might say that doesn't make it tick every box. But
Nah,
who
you
needs
I mean,
don't
it?
need that.
do you come for love in a fight? Like that's a really weird sentence,
You know
but
what I mean?
like, as in,
You
like when you
fight for
go
love.
martial arts,
You fight for love.
you do fight for love, yeah. But if love ain't in
classic
the
song in
script,
Commando. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Kev, what's your top kung fu film?
fight for cereal.
Mine's got to be Enter the Dragon, bit of Bolo Chen and
Yeah,
and
Bolo.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going like down kung fu specifically, and we're talking like Jackie Chan stuff, like Police Story,
Oh
those
yeah.
ones. I
Oh, the
love
soundtrack
those.
alone. The soundtrack alone is worth it, man.
Yeah, man.
I like Jet Li Unleashed with the late
Unleashed.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob
That was
Hoskins,
Not
classic.
bad, Paul Hopkins, yeah.
Do you make
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, man? And they let him off the collar, and he just does some insane stuff.
That needs
was
a
badass, man.
rewatch. That definitely needs a
Oh,
rewatch.
dude. Well, people saying like Jet Li is great with just martial arts in general, but Jackie
Yeah.
Chan uses his environment, which is amazing. So he'll rock back on a chair, he'll use a ladder,
Yeah.
he'll use like shoes.
Yeah,
like-
that thing, like when you said ladder, like is it Mr. Nice Guy? It's probably not
Mr.
one
Nice
of his
Guy.
best films, but some of the action sequences in that are one of the best.
Man,
where
the fight
it's,
scenes, yeah.
it's not the big action sequences. There's a ladder like that, and he does a double kick and just goes through the ladder into the middle and picks it up
Yeah.
and uses it to swing around.
Oh, guys, the athleticism that Jackie exhibits is just something else, man. And I don't think the world ever saw anyone with all those kind of elements in a movie star before, And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I know Bruce Lee was always a bit more of we all love Bruce Lee, but I know Bruce Lee was a bit more of the straight cut, serious type character, even though he had a
wanted
sense
to
of
be an
humor.
actor. He was a child actor, and then did martial arts, and then he wanted to be an actor. Whereas Jackie Chan was like, everything really.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, but I think it would have been. I mean, imagine it would have been amazing. I know those guys have been in a film when Jackie was a stuntman, but it would have been amazing to see those guys. Imagine co-starring with each other in a
Yeah.
movie, man, and or maybe even playing father and son or something like that. But with or older brother with that. For me, what makes Drunken Master my favorite is I think it has everything. It has the humor. It has the philosophies behind martial arts. It has so many great. It has one of the best antagonists ever, Thunderlegs. That guy is excellent, man, and it's also got cheese, but it's for me it's just man, it's got so many side missions in it.
You forget how
Yeah.
funny he is sometimes as well.
Oh, Jackie's brilliant, man, and that's the thing. It's like I think we forget sometimes how young he was. Like he was only what was he like 22, 23 when he did those films, like those old school films.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Foreigner that he did?
Yeah, I saw The Foreigner too. That's one of his best films in the last 10, 15 years for me.
Who Am I? Jackie Chan's Who Am I was pretty sick as well.
Who Am I? For me, guys, I have to say, because you brought it out, man, I was going to mention it. My all-time favorite fight scene in a movie is the scene on the rooftop in Who Am I?
With the tie. I was just about to say that with the tie flapping.
With the two guys. But have you guys all seen Who Am I? You remember that fight scene?
Yeah.
Mate.
James, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen that one, no.
Oh, dude.
I don't think I have.
Do you know what it is? Not to give any spoilers, because I mean, I'm sure the guys would agree. Like, you have to see this film, man. If you like martial arts movies, like the fight scene, it's amazing because once again, like, and this is what I love about Jackie. Jackie's always educating. If you notice, like, even when he's joking around, he's always teaching. Like, there's always teaching in the film as well. Like, he shows you because in the fight scene he adapts. Do you remember, guys? Like, so without telling James what happens, he's getting his ass kicked. That's a bit of a spoiler, but you expect it in a Jackie Chan movie because he actually gets hit. Right, like he's always getting beaten up, and he finds a way to overcome. But he works out the guys he's fighting, and then he obviously does what he does. Do you know what I mean?
He figures out their weaknesses, doesn't he? And go, that leg is vulnerable, or
that is the good thing, because like Bruce Lee just kicks arse all the time. Rarely does anyone get the better of him. But that's the good thing about Jackie Chan. It's funny because he's almost getting killed, and then he swings it around.
He doesn't always play fair. He doesn't, and the same as Sammo Hung I remember when Sammo Hung beat someone up with a cactus in martial law one time. Like, he actually beat someone up with an actual cactus, and it was just like, this is excellent stuff, man. This isn't like traditional. He's using everything around him. Do you know what I mean?
Jack, you prick.
Did you hear that story about Jackie Chan saved Michelle Yeoh's life?
Oh wow! Yeah, on the motorboat.
Yeah, rides the motorbike up a hill, and she didn't know how to ride a motorbike properly, and she just went up a hill to land on a bus, and she fell off, and Jackie Chan grabbed her, and she would have gone under the wheels and gone into traffic.
I feel like if that was your day's plan, you should probably bring up the fact you're not very good on a bike. So I was going to get you to not get you to drive around a corner. We're going to get you to jump on a bus.
She can ride a bike forward. Yeah. It's a motorbike. But up a hill and jump
off a ramp, over a bike,
you take on too much, you know what I mean? It's probably a Tuesday. It's
probably a Tuesday.
You know what I mean? I was going to say that for Fridays.
IP Man as well, Donnie Yen, guys. Let's show some love for Donnie Yen.
Oh, Yip Man. Yeah, Yip Man is a classic, man, classic. But that's the thing, for me, guys, and I'm sure you'd agree as fellow movie buffs, music is one of the main characters in a movie, and that's 100%. Another reason why I love Drunken Master so much, because the music, same as Police Story. I mean, you got Jackie Chan on the soundtrack in Police Story 2, singing the songs.
I forget about that.
Oh yeah, Jackie's like a platinum. Isn't he like a platinum selling artist in China? Like, he's got albums, like Eddie Murphy. Like, when they become so big. I mean, Eddie can sing and Jackie can sing too, but they became so big that they started to like just do side missions, like side quests. Like, they're going to have just a random like singing career. Like, do you know what I mean? The Jackie's got albums, man. Yeah.
Wow.
He's done everything. He's done everything. Yeah, he's done everything. But yeah, like the music for me, guys. I mean, and that's the thing. Even with movies, like I find myself like Hans Zimmer. Like, as you guys know, just responsible for so many quality soundtracks. I mean, I've been listening to the Dune soundtrack a lot recently. Like, I love the music in Dune, and even as we speak, the video in the background isn't Hans Zimmer, but Max Richter. Max Richter. He done the soundtrack for Hostiles. He did the soundtrack for Mary, Queen of Scots. Like, he's another composer. He doesn't get spoke about as much as some, but yeah, man, it's quality, man. Like, I don't know if you guys seen Hostiles with Wes Studi and with Christian Bale. It's Western.
Oh yeah, it's the cowboy one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard amazing things about it.
Oh man, yeah. Bale always brings the goods, man.
Oh,
He's
Bale
always
kills it. We were talking
We've been
about Bale
so
talking
the
good.
other day.
soundtracks a lot recently, haven't we? Because the new Crow came out. We were talking about scores versus
Rosamund Pike.
soundtracks, like Cliff Martinez with his scores that
That's it.
Wyndham Refn uses a lot for Drive, and then you've got the opposite end of the scale where you've got the Crow, like Top Gun, that had very little score,
Yeah.
mainly music, like actual songs, which you don't really get apart from like your Marvel films, or you get like Guardians of the Galaxy will play all the 80s hits. You don't see a lot of films with actual soundtracks now. It's a lot of
So
times
true,
just a
yeah.
score.
I
It's
do
like
like the
yeah.
soundtrack. I mean, I appreciate scores more, but that's for a different type of film, usually, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
your Christopher Nolan. You need.
The
Imagine if they
dramatic
played Danger
touch.
Zone in the middle of a Christopher Nolan
That'd be
film.
sick.
It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. No, I was going to ask Elijah, like, so we don't take up all your evening or anything as well. But
No, hey man, it's
before
all
we
good,
go,
bro.
like, what have you got something coming up next that you wanted to like plug, or something
Oh,
that you're looking forward to seeing if you've got nothing coming up immediately?
oh yeah. I mean, what am I doing at the moment? Yes, I shot a film recently. Shot a movie called Tapped, and
Oh yeah,
it's a feature that I've co-written, and it's a friend of mine called Tiel Mansay, and he came up with the idea. And long story short, it is about a neurodivergent special needs character from a local estate. Who I say local estate because it's just you can imagine like just a local council estate in London,
yeah,
and he's got a very innocent relationship with this girl. They haven't even they haven't gone they haven't done anything in a sense of what would be constituted as an adult relationship, even though they are adults but young adults. And it's a very innocent relationship. She has special needs too, and she gets victimized by this local gang, and then he turns into a vigilante because he feels like he has no choice, and
Sick.
takes him up. Yeah, he's been doing martial arts in secret his whole life, so now he can finally implement what he's been doing in the comfort of his own bedroom
So we'll
in
see you in
reality.
the film doing martial arts like you've just been talking about, essentially.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
oh,
Mate.
Really exciting, guys. Yeah, I'll
okay,
send you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you guys some stills and stuff so you can have a
Yeah, man.
look and just
yeah,
get your
man,
opinion. And yeah, it's on. We've got it on IMDb as well. I set up the IMDb because I'm producing this as well. And
Sick.
yeah, I'm not the. I didn't fund it. I'm not the executive producer. But I'm producing it. Yeah, so yeah, it's on IMDb. If you just type in "Tapped Echoes of Retribution." Oh yeah. There's a still from it.
there you
My,
go.
my, my
Sick.
boy Dan Theron. He takes just as great as Kevin there with the photography. He did the stills on it, and yeah, so that's coming out. And there's another movie that I'm looking to be shooting sometime over the next 4 or 5 months. It's called Dead Horse, and that's another film that has been conjured up recently. They're doing a live read for it. I'm not going to be a part of the live read, but they're doing a live read of it. Tarantino does that sometimes, right? He does
Yeah.
Yeah.
like live read of his script. That's another one, and that's more horror, thriller-esque type film.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah. And guys, just speaking of soundtracks, one of you guys probably would never think this someone would mention this, but one of my favorite soundtracks in a movie is actually from Dumb and Dumber.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Good shout, actually. Yeah,
right. Think about it, man.
That is a shout. Yeah.
The music is great, man. That 90s music, man. Like, there's some quality songs in it, and because Dumb and Dumber, that's one of my favorite movies as well. And I mentioned this the other day, right? Like, every time you think of a song, it reminds you of one of the scenes. As songs do, as movies do, and so that is a quality soundtrack, guys. If you just listen, it's just delightful, man. You know what I mean? It would cheer
And
you
also
up.
you got I was gonna say you got Ace Ventura actually doing kung fu when he rips the guy's heart out and puts it in the takeaway.
Yeah, it's kung fu. Yeah, there's a bit of a pattern there with my favorite movies. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah.
There's always an element of kung fu going on in there.
Yeah, but
But
seeing Jim Carrey do kung fu is awesome.
So,
oh,
would
yeah.
your favorite song from Dumb and Dumber be Mark
Yeah, the
Bird?
yeah. Cut Mockingbird,
Bird.
guys. Honestly, every single word
Yeah.
you can test me if you want. Every single word I know of that movie. I love Dumb and Dumber. Like, and every time I watch it, I discover something new. Like every single time, there's like a. Have you guys seen the uncut version of Dumb and Dumber?
No,
Ooh,
Oh,
didn't
did
know
I
there was
say?
one.
Guys, it exists, and I remember the first time I saw it. Like, because I've seen, you've seen a film like 1,000 times. You're just
Yeah,
like, and then all of a sudden the scene's longer, and you're thinking, I don't remember this, and then it happens once, and you kind of let it go, and then it happens again, and you're like, okay, this definitely hasn't, and then you realize you're watching a cut that has an extra like 5 or 6 minutes, and you're just like, what? Like, so guys, honestly, when you watch it, you'll find it like uncut. You'll see scenes you've never seen. Same as when I saw Apocalypse Now, which is I'm sure you guys have seen the uncut version of that. It's like an extra 40 minutes.
Wow.
It still makes me laugh, that film, that because Brando got so fat, they just put him in a cupboard. Like, it was
Oh.
like all in the shadows. It was just like,
Oh man.
okay, we can't have you actually out here now. You just sit in there and we'll put a light on your face.
Do you know what I think it was? I reckon they knew whatever he was doing, even if they didn't understand it, they knew it was going to be brilliant. So they thought, whatever he needs, just keep letting him just do what he needs to do because he's
They
doing
let him get
something.
away with anything,
Just
didn't
feeding
they?
him cheeseburgers through, in the
For a
dark.
tune. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We do need to bring up two films, though, that's super important, because I didn't realise you were in these, and they're two films I've probably watched. I've seen The Batman once. And this could make me sound bad now, because I've seen one of these films well over 10 times, and the other one probably knocking on 10.
Oh
And I
wow.
was amazed when I found out they weren't the same director because of the crossover of cast.
And the
And
style,
that was Vendetta with Danny Dyer.
yeah.
And we still kill the old way with Danny
Yeah.
Dyer's daughter. And
Yeah,
some of the other cast,
with Danny
including
Dyer.
yourself, across, yeah.
With Danny Dyer as well, yeah, because that's her name. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Danny Dyer and both, yeah. I love them movies, especially Vendetta. I'm just one of them ones that I enjoy a good, classic, basic revenge
Oh yeah,
plot.
Vendetta was cool, man. I got to like me and one of my closest friends, not just in acting but in life. He plays my older brother in it, a guy called Joshua Osei, and he plays my character's older brother. And I was only in one scene in that one, and then I got an upgrade in We Still Kill the Old Way, and I was in several more scenes.
You're pretty much in the opening scene in that, aren't you?
Yeah, Tony Denham that does me in with a bat, didn't he? Yeah, yeah.
Guys, so just talking about just to interrupt real quick, sorry. This is one of the most exciting episodes ever, and that's why I'm so upset that I actually have a reservation for a meal. So, but
they do meals. They do meals at that hotel. Drew.
They do meals at this hotel.
You've got the menu.
It's not those bananas. There's an actual meal, and I actually need to go because we've got a reservation booked for this
you mean
table.
You need to get your G-string on.
So I need to get my G-string on, and I've got to get my favorite spoon. That sounds weird, but no, yeah. So, but Elijah, man, it's been amazing. I really hope we
good,
can.
We'll do a part 2 if you guys want, man. Because there's so
Mate,
much
please, that would be amazing, dude. You're an absolute talent and an absolute pleasure and a wonderful human being,
fun,
man. And thank you so much for your time. And I'm so sorry I have to shoot off because, like, this is the kind of episode I don't want to leave, man. Because
I get you, bro.
No,
you've got it.
I know when I watch playback, I'm like, I wish I was with those guys, but I can't keep my wife hanging. And go
and cry into your cornflakes.
I'll go cry into some serious cornflakes, but.
Enjoy the food,
we'll catch you in a bit, Drew.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
See you in a bit, Drew. Take it easy, man.
Take care, man. Cheers.
See you later, dude.
Cool, brother.
Leave your laptop on so it loads in the background.
No, because you don't know what's going to happen after dinner.
What do I do? Just leave it on and just go?
Well, no, exit, but don't.
That's when we find the maid comes in and starts trying all his clothes on or something.
I don't want to see knickers, man.
Yeah, you ain't going to see knickers and bananas and all kinds of crazy stuff. No, it's all good. I'll jump out. But dude, take care, man. Enjoy the rest of this episode. It's awesome. You are absolutely awesome, man.
Likewise, man. Takes one to know one.
Take care, dude. Cheers.
No, bro. Peace.
Safe.
Click leave.
I'm trying to leave.
It's always the best. It's always the best when that happens.
Jesus. see, like, just to give it context, he literally has just started he lives in like Hampshire currently.
Oh, okay.
He used to live in London, but he's just got a job in Brighton, and his flat that he was going to rent fell through. So he started his training at his new job, and he doesn't live there. So he's been sofa surfing. And tonight a sofa surf fell through, so he's had to get a hotel with his wife.
Oh man, so that's crazy.
So he's normally not there with his wife. He's usually on his own. So it's like one time to like hang out together. So it's he'll jump on for the hour, but we're enjoying this too much, so we don't want to tell you to fuck off. So
I hear you, brother. I hear you. No, it makes sense. Well, no, we'll definitely talk again, man. 100%. Soon as.
Yeah, we want to get you on again for 100% sure.
I'm here, brother.
Just so we can talk Dumb and Dumber, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's the whole podcast, man. I could talk Dumb and Dumber for days. I mean, it's for me. I mean, yeah, we'll save most of the Dumb and Dumber talk for the homie. You know what I mean? For Drew another time. But for me, what's so amazing about that film is, I mean, I know there's so much around it. For example, I know Jeff Daniels when he was cast. People, not that I remember it being at the time, but from researching it since then. people to hit for him to be able to spar and go toe to toe with Jim Carrey, who the world knew is just this comedic sensation. I mean, and he matches him. Do you know what I mean? Like
Well,
they're
that's
just
it,
as
because
funny.
Jeff Daniels
Well,
is a serious actor, and he
did
didn't
he
want
come
to.
off the back of Speed to do that, or was it the other way around?
I think
It
it
was
was
very
Steve.
close, wasn't it?
Because they were both 94, 95, I reckon. Because the mid
Okay.
90s for the
But he
Mask,
did.
Ace Ventura, like
He did say so.
Men in
Like,
Black.
I didn't even know today. In fact, I was looking at it today. Bizarrely, like Jim Carrey filmed The Mask before Ace Ventura was released, so he wasn't
Oh,
a sensation. He was just a guy on Saturday Night Live that was quite rubbery.
He
It
was
was
a
very
stand-up,
that
wasn't he?
character.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they didn't know The Mask would be a success because Ace Ventura hadn't been a success yet. So it just happened to work out. But yeah, you're right. With Jeff Daniels, he was like a serious actor, and,
yeah.
and he was
And he,
scared to work with Jim Carrey because he was so good, and that's kind
Mhm.
of what spurred him to take the job. Because I think he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
paid like next to nothing, like 50 grand, and
Compared to Jim, right? Jim would have
Jim
got a
Carrey
big
was getting like
check.
20 million, and he was getting 50 grand, and
He knew.
Jeff Daniels is the biggest actor. He should get much more money, but he was
Yeah,
nowhere near. But he took
yeah.
it just to work with him, which is
But
insane.
I mean, Dumb and Dumber, like I just feel like we really missed out on maybe getting a trilogy. You know, if they'd made the sequel, like the second and third, around that time, man. Like
Yes,
just
sooner,
it's just,
quicker.
like
Like
with
Men in
even
Black, that came quick, and Ace
yeah,
Ventura.
within the space because I think Dumb and Dumber came out. Yeah, you said like 94, right? It was like
94, 95.
so imagine, guys,
94.
but by the time we got to 98 or 99, we could have had three of those movies.
Yeah,
And they, and put those two characters in a quiet room and you're going to be entertained. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
Let alone road trips. You know what I'm saying? And it's always, it's that moment, guys, isn't it? At the end of the film, it's always painful with that bus at the end of the film where
yeah.
you just,
You're in luck.
the town is back
Down the
that
back.
way. You know
It's
what
just
I mean?
that scene where the news are doing a report on like the kid where they sellotape the bird's head
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
and he's like, "Pretty bird."
You see
We
Pretty
got
Bird?
no
Yeah.
food. We got no jobs.
I
Our
pet
parents'
that
heads are
off.
falling off.
Yeah. But just it also, but even like, even like just the subtleties, man. Like with the old lady on the motorized car. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole let's go someplace warm, and then he says Aspen. Like just the level of madness that we're dealing with. Peeing on the bike. Like there's some
Just that scene
classic.
where he gets the bike and he's like, "Just when I think you couldn't be any dumber, like you
Yeah,
totally redeem yourself on
yeah.
that little
It could be
tiny
some
motorbike."
and totally redeem yourself, and then they miss the high five. Like it's just constant laugh. I don't think there's a lot. I mean, there's some comedies that I put in my top group of movies as well. Like I love Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I'm saying? The first one. I love
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I'm saying? Like and Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. I think it's quite an underrated film as well. Like I think that's just a laugh a minute.
Have you seen that recently? I tried to watch that about a year ago, and I still remember I love it, but it's a tougher watch in today's
Really?
world.
Oh, when that
It's
happens, man.
it's
Yeah.
tough. And I'm not one of these people that are woke enough to go, oh God,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
should be in the
How dare they?
bin.
How dare they do that? Yeah,
It
yeah.
had its time and it was perfect at that time, but now you watch it, it's a bit, it's overtly homophobic in a lot of
Wow.
ways.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Until
Yeah. I know what you mean.
until he becomes or pretends to be gay, which in
Yeah.
today's world that would be offensive. The fact he's pretending to be gay, but
Yeah.
it's still fucking
There is
hilarious.
No,
one
I know
film
because
I
you know what it is.
secretly hope for
Yeah.
still. I secretly hope and pray it still happens, and that's another Austin Powers.
Which one is it?
Another Austin Powers
Wow.
film.
Okay. So you're a big Austin Powers fan. Big
Yeah, I
Austin
love it.
Powers fan.
It's so
Yeah, baby.
ridiculous. Like that
Yeah.
one
No,
scene where
that's what's
he's
great about
reversing
it.
that truck and he gets perfectly stuck in the corridor, and it's just like that. It's just like the stupidest
Oh
scene in
man.
any film.
Well, that's the thing is, I think, do you know what? I think with because what you said, Kevin, about it being hard to watch now, because of times have changed and all that sort of stuff, and people there's more awareness with things these days, right?
Yeah,
But some people say that about Dumb and Dumber, and I'm like, see,
really?
I'm not
Where?
usually. That's the thing. Like, even though my kind of comedy, like my favorite comedians are people like Billy Connolly, people that can just
Same.
crack you up casually. They don't have to jump around and
Man,
sweat all
see
day.
that piece of artwork? That's Billy Connolly on my wall.
Oh wow.
I've got about four other pieces in the other room.
Yeah, I need a close up of that at some point, man, because I can't see that well. But I love Billy. Billy's my mum's favorite comedian. That's probably what
Yeah,
birthed my interest from a young age. But Billy and George Carlin, you know what I mean? Like they just stand there and they just crack you up. They can jump around if they want, but they don't need to. Like they can kill you with laughter just from chilling, like rather than the
It's
more.
stories rather than jokes as well,
Yeah,
isn't
but
it?
don't get me wrong, I think Peter Kay is a combination of both. Like Peter Kay is animated and he can also stand there and the same. But so usually I'm not really a big fan of like that kind of comedy, right? But in this case with Dumb and Dumber, for me it's just brilliant and it is intelligent. People might think, oh, it's just fart jokes and stuff. I'm like, no, 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 no. It's an intelligent watch. Like the way it's intelligent, silly comedy, which is
Yeah.
probably difficult for a lot of people to pull off. But yeah, I love that
Well,
movie,
it's
man, and
difficult to
it's
say it's an
brilliant.
intelligent comedy when you watch Jeff Daniels having a shit on the toilet for 10 minutes. But
Yeah. No, but the
it's
thing
still
is, but
so good.
there's genuine betrayal in that movie, guys. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
genuine like Judas behavior in that film between the two of them. You know, with Mary, like there's some scummy behavior in that film. And guys, when you watch the uncut version, you'll see a little bit more of the betrayal, man, between the two of them.
I need to
Didn't
find that.
even,
I think definitely because you just
yeah.
don't
Guys,
get a lot of slapstick these days, do you? Like
you
the only
don't, 'cause,
slapstick
yeah.
you really see is like Family Guy, South Park are still pushing the boundaries a bit. But as
You
far
might,
as
yeah, you might,
movies go,
yeah,
it's like,
you're right. In terms of live action, maybe Key and Peele, like they do
oh,
a bit of slapstick. Do you know what I
honestly,
mean?
have you seen Why Him?
No, no,
It's
I've
got the
maybe,
guy from Key and Peele in it, and James Franco.
yeah.
It's probably one of the best recent comedy films. It's so fun. It's basically about a tech mogul, and he's
Okay.
just ridiculous. You've seen it,
Yeah,
Kev.
Don't
And
think
what was it
so.
on the interview where they go in and they try and assassinate King Jong Un?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so you wouldn't get away with that nowadays, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot you can't get away with, man, and that's why, if you notice, guys, I think that's why Joe Rogan though is so successful, right? I know this is like such a random segue, but I'm saying because people just like hearing honest conversation,
Yeah,
like and that's think about it, guys. It shows you, doesn't it? Anyone that is sort of skeptical about it, it's like, look, the biggest podcast in the world is just a bloke having a chat with his mates. That's how it started, and he
Just
just
being frank and
obviously.
open and honest. Yeah.
getting
Do you know
drunk
what I
and getting
mean?
high, and
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's funny, isn't it?
yeah, because most of Joe Rogan's topics involve martial arts, wolves, aliens, and the occasional
He's always
soundtrack
dressed
or
like a
movie.
spaceman now, isn't he, and stuff.
Do you know what I
Whereas,
mean? So and that's the thing is, and Joe Rogan, what I like about him is like this has turned into what I like about Joe Rogan. But I mean, what I like about him is he doesn't like he admits the fact that, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, but I'm here to have the conversation and to be educated and to just to
yeah.
learn, basically. Do
I
you know what
don't
I mean?
agree with a lot of stuff he says, but at least he's open enough to say he doesn't agree with half the shit he says as well.
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
he's just fumbling around a conversation to,
Yeah.
that's why. Well, initially when we started this podcast, it was literally let's just the three of us hang out and chat movies, and
Yeah.
then we thought we could do it the three of us the whole time, and I think it'd be entertaining. But we started to get a couple of friends who wanted to jump on. We're like, okay, sounds like too many people, but it worked. It was okay. Bit rough
Yeah.
around the edges to begin with, but we're getting better at it.
Hmm.
And having someone different on gives us a new topic. And then every week we plan on having a guest every week, hopefully, give or take.
Hmm.
And then it's a new topic. Like we would never
That's
have
it.
discussed half the shit we discussed today with you if it wasn't
Oh yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, the audition processes and all that. I mean, that wouldn't have popped up.
I get the feeling you got more of them to spill, so we need to get you
Oh,
on again for another one.
there's always going to be, there's always going to be more of those to talk about. Maybe even next time we talk, there'll be fresh ones that have just happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
But
also,
yeah,
you should just message us next time you've got something entertaining. If you've done something entertaining recently, just give us a
yeah.
call. We'll get you on for a
Oh
fresh
yeah,
one as
guys.
well.
Yeah, hundred
That'd be
percent,
cool.
man. No, it's been fun. I know. Because how long do you guys usually? Have you got like a set time of how long you talk for? Or you just still working it
Not
out?
particularly.
hour
Usually,
and a bit in it, give or
yeah,
take.
between about an hour and a well, give or take. This is more than our average, but if it goes a bit longer, it goes a bit longer. It's not the end of the world.
Sweet, man. Yeah.
It's only if
Oh,
we've got another guest lined up, then we'd have to cut it a little bit. But we're a
no,
bit
that makes
more.
sense because of
Yeah.
times. I wanted to ask you guys, like, and I'll let you know as well if you're interested. What's your favorite movie you've seen at the cinema this year so far?
Um,
I think I know yours because you told
I
me, but
mean, the
Or
obvious answer is
one
yeah.
of, sorry, one of.
yeah. My obvious answer is Deadpool Wolverines. It's just so much fun.
Yep.
But
I mean, to be fair, like I've seen films that are better dramas, thrillers, or exciting, or whatever. But ultimately, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine was the most pure enjoyment. And
Yeah.
I'm not a big comic book person. I know you are, but
Oh yeah.
I watched them all, but I don't know anything about them. I've seen all the Marvels and all the DCs, but I won't
Mhm.
pretend to actually know anything about them. But
Yeah.
was just pure out. You needed backstories to get half the jokes, but
Yeah, I
it
get
was
you.
pure out comedy. It was flawless as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I feel like
But
it is what it says on the tin. Do you know what I mean? Like this is you've come for fun, and that's what it gave. You
he
know?
is Marvel Jesus. He has saved a
Yeah,
lot
and
because
that's the thing.
we're all getting bored of it. It's too
You're
much.
right. It's the thing is, it's a satire because Deadpool is a satire. He can constantly break the fourth wall and bring in anyone. Like anyone can turn up, right? And how
Yeah,
great was it to see the OG man to see Blade?
I
You
know
know?
that was it. Like James saw it a couple of days before me and Drew saw it at the cinema,
Yeah.
and James is how do I put this? Not very good at being. He would just blurt shit out, won't you? Let's be frank.
You
And he did not say the word Blade for a week. I was like, hurry up and see it, Drew. Hurry up. I can't
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
this
yeah.
in.
Oh,
And he
Blade,
kept
man.
quiet.
Yeah.
I
When
No,
he
think what we
walked
got
I've
out,
from
got a
that
group.
film is another Blade is in the works. Got to be.
yeah,
Give Channing Tatum a bit part in the MCU.
the
But
Yeah.
whole cinema gasped when
we
that
thought
happened.
I come up with two major issues with the film. Actually,
Mhm.
quite big issues. Is what one from what we know, from what we could research, that's the only ever Disney R-rated movie
Oh wow.
because they've got stuff on Disney Plus, but they didn't produce it. Like
Oh, I
they've
see what
got
you mean. Yeah,
American
yeah,
Horror
yeah.
Story, blah blah blah, but they just bought Fox and got all that stuff. But then I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, well, they've got themselves a sticky situation because they can't really put Deadpool in the MCU. They can't put him in an Avengers movie because it will wipe out 2/3 of their audience.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
can't censor and bleep him because everyone will kick off. So it's
True.
like, where do you go?
You're right, because even if they do put him as a bit part in something, he's gonna have to say or do something outrageous.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's gonna
He
feel
he's gonna
unmemorable.
have to be in another R-rated like Blade.
Yeah,
Pop
yeah.
up in
bring good
Blades. That would
point. Yeah,
work.
bring Blade in and have him messing
That'd be
stuff up.
amazing.
Well, and the great thing is, even from because from an understanding perspective of the people that of you know the money people at these companies, they can Ryan Reynolds can have that conversation and say, look, I get what Disney family company, but look what this film made, and we can keep it R rated, and it's not for kids. You know what I mean? So because they've got the numbers to back it up
Yeah,
now,
yeah, it's
they can make that
profitable.
reality.
Yeah,
They can
yeah.
make they
But
can
Bear in
fully
mind
make
how
it
much
reality.
money Disney have lost on a lot of recent films. It's like,
Wait
you
up,
know,
man.
go
Yeah,
down
'cause
the route that's making you money. Like
Yeah,
we've
because
got
we keep
proof of
hearing
it.
that that new Blade movie fell apart. I know Mahershala walked away
oh,
from it, right? That's what
been
we're
going on for
hearing.
years. It's like the new
Yeah,
Crow movie. How long did that take to make?
Yeah, and look at Snipes still looks great for his age, and they can still get people that look just like him. Look at the what you can do with AI and all that. Like
yeah.
what
And he
the
still did some
technology,
martial arts.
you
He
know?
did like that back spin kick, and I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
was him that did that.
and I wouldn't mind seeing I mean, look, I think he looked great. Like the older
Yeah,
Blade looks. I like the grey and you know what I mean and all
Great
that sort of
wig,
stuff.
nothing wrong
great
with
Yeah,
that.
wig.
like we can easily see another. Like give him. Was it Ryan Reynolds that said he needs like his old man Logan? We
Yeah,
need Blade to have an old man Logan film. I don't want him
yeah.
to die, but I'm just saying,
I need to
we
say,
need that.
hairpiece of the film is Channing Tatum's hairpiece because he was bald when he filmed that film.
Was
Oh, you're just coming off the back of that last film we done,
He
right?
had
That
that
just.
massive quiff, didn't he?
Oh
yeah,
yeah, listen, guys. I thought he was a great Gambit man. I've heard so many different
Brilliant.
mixed reviews. I thought he nailed it. The accent, the
so
look.
funny.
He's Gambit. Like, and I'm
Did you
just
see
like,
the
give him
picture
a
of him
movie.
and Ryan Reynolds when he was actually going to be Gambit in a Gambit t-shirt, and then the picture of him now in the same t-shirt
Yeah,
where he
yeah.
actually is Gambit
Been
because they
waiting
canned
10
the
years
original
for
film?
it.
Oh
Yeah,
no, man, I've not seen it. No, because I know people forget about him being Gambit before in Wolverine Origins, right? They forget that he actually did play Gambit before.
Well,
Like,
Gambit was my
oh, was
favourite
he?
X-Men back in the day when I was little. Like,
yeah,
Oh, I
he's
didn't.
Gambit's
quite an
great.
unknown character though, isn't
I
he? So I
didn't think he
get
was
why.
actually in a film. I thought he was going to be in a film, but he
Yeah, I
wasn't.
could have sworn James is in that, right? He's in Wolverine
He,
Origins as
I
Gambit.
don't think he played. It's played by Channing Tatum. No, I think it's played by someone else.
Oh wow, okay, because funny enough, that's one of the only Marvel movies I don't think I've seen. But some people kept saying, no, he was already in that. Like he had a small part in it. He played. Well, there might be a cameo. Maybe I'm wrong, but it'd be good to find out.
I'm pretty
But
sure he had a fight in the back alley, but it was someone else.
okay, okay. I mean, I'm getting my
Um,
I
wires
mean,
crossed.
talking about good films this year at the cinema, um, a couple like going away from the grain. Even though Alien Romulus was amazing,
Yeah,
I'd say things that have come out of the woodwork I didn't expect to be good. They're the good ones when you go and see a film you expect to be a bit crap, but they turn
yeah.
out to blow your mind or impress you. I
Exceeds your
think
expectations. Yeah.
Blink
okay.
Twice and Trap, those two films delivered much more than I was expecting. Have you
Yeah, I
seen
want to see.
those?
Yeah, I want to see Blink twice as soon as possible. And The Trap, I've been meaning to see that, and I think it's out of the cinema now. But I do want to watch. I do want to see it.
I really enjoyed Trap, even though it's got some really mixed reviews. I thought it was brilliant. I really
from
enjoyed
the
it.
trailer, I thought this what a great idea, like for a movie,
Yeah.
like
And
you
that's
know.
the
Gam-
problem. You think it gives too much away because, he's a killer, but it doesn't. There's
I
lots
can,
of
yeah.
we all know what Gambit like in the cartoons, don't we? Exactly like he did in the Wolverine film.
Exactly
Remy
the same.
Remy LeBou, sorry, played him. And look at this or
That's his name, though.
rendition of what is that?
What
Oh
film
no,
is
that
that in?
That's
he,
Gambit in X-Men
uh,
Origins.
he looks like Noel Fielding in that picture.
No,
He
Is
does.
that
It's
not?
like the Mighty Boosh meets
Is that
like
yeah? That's Vince. I was gonna say Mighty Boosh, one of my favorite shows. That looks like Vince from the Mighty Boosh.
yeah, they
Oh
didn't
man,
do the
I love
character
Mighty
that
Boosh.
much justice, did they?
Oh yeah, come with us now on a journey through time and space. Now I
Yeah,
love the Mighty
Remy
Boosh.
LeBou was the guy
Oh,
who played Gambit.
I was gonna
Yeah.
try. I can't even think of one of their funny songs off the top of my head. They're usually in my brain, but I can't remember it.
No, but Gambit's real name.
Oh
One
wait, that's
second.
your name.
There you go. That's Gambit's name.
Oh, what's the actor called
Yeah, I
then?
was thinking, bro. You said that. I thought there's no way they've got it that spot on. Where the actor who's played him is actually that's Gambit's real name.
Imagine that.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
real name is Remy LeBleu. Yeah, yeah.
But what's his actual name then? Oh,
So,
Taylor Kitsch.
oh,
Kitsch.
and yeah, no, do you know what? That guy's quite. I kind of feel for that guy because I think he's quite good, and unfortunately, he's been in projects that haven't done so well. Like,
Battleship.
yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I thought John Carter was a good film. Like, I actually think that's a good film.
He would be a good action star. Do you know what? I watched Battleship right years ago, and
With
I
yeah.
didn't twig that it was based on the game, like
Oh
Battleship,
yeah, of course. Yeah,
until
yeah.
right at the very end when they're like C5, like
That's when it dawned on you. Yeah, yeah,
D12. It's like
Not
really,
the
this is about the
title.
game, really. It's got
yeah, yeah.
Rihanna in there running around.
And Liam Neeson was in there, wasn't he in there?
Yeah, he was. I
Yeah,
mean, he must have
he was
just
the
been shot for
captain, wasn't
money.
he?
I don't know.
And that was with
Yeah.
Rihanna as well, wasn't it?
So's
Rihanna.
Skarsgård's in there as well.
Well, yeah. So they got. The thing is, with Taylor, it's his surname. Is it Klitsch? As Taylor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kitsch. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that guy's a good actor, right? But I think sometimes, I mean, I know you guys, you've seen it. You've seen someone who's quality, and Hollywood's like, right, this is a leading man or leading actress, and then they unfortunately just do about 2 or 3 movies in a row that don't seem to hit,
I
and then
mean,
all of a sudden
And
now
it's
they're
not
in
their
like,
fault, It
no,
could be the
yeah, yeah.
direction, it could be the editing, it could be the
Well,
lack of
people say that the
marketing and
marketing,
promotion.
yeah, people say the marketing for John Carter is what affected it. Like they said that film
Yeah.
didn't have the best
But,
marketing.
but then you
I-
flip it the other way, and what was the film recently that got tons of marketing and failed? Which was that Borderlands, that one. They put
Oh, Borderlands,
120
yeah.
grand into the 120 million into the marketing, and
120 grand would have been very cheap, Kevin.
it made less than 5 million.
Oh wow!
It
People
didn't
just
know
work.
didn't resonate with it. It
Looking
didn't
at his
resonate.
Taylor Kitsch's movie thing, like, yeah, he hasn't had one good movie. We're not giving him credit for X-Men because he's in it for like 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
John Carter, Friday Night Lights, Savages, Terminal List, American Assassin. That's not the proper
Savages did
American
okay,
Assassin.
didn't it? I think
I was going
Savages
to
was.
say Savages
He's
sounds
in Snakes on
familiar.
a Plane.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean that was always meant to be quirky, but that's the thing, isn't it? So it's like the choices that have been made for him. Who knows though, guys? Sometimes actors will you look at a script and they'll be like, oh, this is alright. Like look how who was it? Sean Connery turned down Gandalf, didn't he? Because he thought I don't understand it, and then he did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen instead, and then he
Oh,
retired soon afterwards.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's
there's
just on
tons of it.
paper. Yeah, on paper he thought, "What's this Lord of the Rings?" He just thought, "What is this?" And
Well,
then
there's tons of stories of that. Isn't there like some mega famous people that turned down Neo in Matrix?
Will Smith. Do you know
Will
what? I
Smith,
still
that was
think
it, yeah.
I'm one of the only people I know that would have liked to have seen. I mean, I think Keanu Reeves is great as
Yeah.
Neo, but I think Will Smith would have smashed the role as well. I really do. I think Will Smith would have brought
Oh,
a good dynamic to it.
Is it Matt Damon that did that famous? He was on stage doing a talk, and he said, "Yeah, I turned down this film where they were going to offer me like a percentage of like the revenue and
Yeah,
stuff, and
I
it
know what
was
you're saying.
Avatar."
Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And he said, and every time a new one comes out, he's probably reminded. You know what I mean? But yeah, that film made over $1 billion, didn't it? So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
insane. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, he's all right. He's doing all right, Matt
to
Damon.
go back to the other question, I was going to say 2 more films before I want to hear yours, but like films that I really liked in the cinema this year was Maxine. I don't know if you saw that one, the horror.
Oh, I haven't. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
That was really good. And I'd say the worst film in the cinema was Kinds of Kindness.
I haven't seen that one either. Was that with? Is that a Defoe movie?
Willem Dafoe, yeah, it's
Yeah.
people that did Poor Things.
But I know he was great in it though, right? Defoe's always
Oh,
great, right?
their acting's good.
Yeah.
The film is insanely awful. It's
Really.
just it's like the style over substance. Like it's really cool. It's quirky. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
certain scenes where you go, "Wow, that was fucking cool." What the fuck am I watching?
That's like a Nicholas Winding Refn film that isn't
Still
Bronson or
doesn't
Drive.
make sense. But I'm
Do you
guessing
know, I haven't seen any of his other ones actually. I love Bronson,
Um,
but Drive, I haven't seen
yeah,
Driver. I've seen the original Drive with Mark Dacascos.
well,
That
only God
was watched
Forgives is
that
one of
movie.
them films you watch it and think, I'm not entirely sure what I just watched. And then Neon Demon is a very similar thing. You're like, okay.
Are they just like does it feel like more of an experience of synthwave rather
They're
than a movie?
visually
yeah.
stunning. You could pause any part of the film, print it off, and put it on your wall.
If
Yeah,
you
I
if
But
you
love I
like
the
love
story is
music,
soundtrack.
ridiculous.
you like soundtracks and stuff
Oh,
like that. You'll
Drive,
love
the
it.
Drive soundtrack I love. I've not seen the movie, but I love the
Yeah.
Drive soundtrack.
They
Yeah.
actually rescored it on BBC. Zane Lowe did a rescore, so they put in like
Oh wow.
Bastille. I think. What was the other band? What are they called? The ones the band that did helicopters and that.
What?
Block Party, like stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
rescored it
yeah.
with like rock and indie music. It was really cool.
Oh, Block Party, they've got a song called The Prayer, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was their first single. Yeah, yeah, I
yeah. He
like Block.
basically rescored the whole film with actual songs, and it completely changed the dynamic of the film. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Have you guys ever done that? Have you guys? One of my hobbies that I do so when I'm just chilling is I'll put like a video with a song that it was never meant to go with. Like like you just open two tabs on YouTube and you'll play like a Blade tribute video with like a song that it never should work, but it works somehow. Like, and
I've never
I
Die in
done
love.
Your Arms Tonight with Blade.
it. Oh yeah, yeah.
it.
Anything? Yeah.
I'll just
And
die
also,
in your arms tonight.
you guys must have seen the trailers where, for example, like Miss Doubtfire, but with a horror song.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Oh man,
Have you ever
everything
watched?
changes.
Have you seen the clips where they show Ross from Friends without the laugh reel, and he just comes across super creepy the whole time?
Yeah, I can
Yeah, the
imagine.
psychopath. Yeah.
No,
Mm.
yeah, you can
He just
imagine. You can imagine.
and he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about stuff, and there's no laughter, and he's just really sinister. It's like,
Because
It's
he's
weird.
always angry, isn't he?
No, because you know, if you guys noticed, growing up with canned laughter, it's a comfort to us, isn't it? And so when it's removed, it can feel a bit hollow sometimes. It's just like, where's the canned laughter? Even though you should never have needed it, but it kind of, do you know what I mean? Like the canned laughter
Yeah.
in
Or
comedy
the
shows.
audience laughter, like filmed in a studio, which seems weird now. Imagine
Fresh
if
Prince
they did
style.
something
Yeah.
in a studio now, it'd just be a bit weird, wouldn't
But
it?
it's interesting because when you know when you watch like with Fresh Prince, for example, you if you watch it that much, you even recognize certain laughs in certain scenes,
Yeah.
where you're like you wait for it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just but I know what you mean. It's kind of like maybe people felt like I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be told that this is a time where I'm meant to laugh. I don't want to be told that okay now laugh. I want to laugh when I feel like laughing. Do you know what I mean? Like Faulty Towers, I love the laughter in Faulty Towers. Like that's Faulty Towers is one of my favorite shows as well. Do you know
And
what I
that
mean? And
was
they have
live
that.
studio, wasn't it?
That was
Was
a
it?
live studio, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It just doesn't look it because of the dynamic of the hotel, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it's
But
Wasn't it only something
the
ridiculous
cameras
like
only
10
go left and
episodes there or
right.
something?
There's only a
mate,
hallway. There's only a hallway, a bar, and a restaurant. It's like,
but
Good
then they
point.
shoot outside separately, like so
yeah,
it looks like. But yeah, they only made 2 seasons, and I think each season had maybe 6 episodes. So there's only like
yeah.
I think 12 episodes.
When he's
Something
Yeah.
beating up that car
fantastic,
with a
and
stick.
What
there's like no.
have you guys ever heard John Cleese talking about how he had a plan to make a movie of Faulty Towers, and it was a continuation? And guys, have you heard this? Have you heard him talk about
No, I
this?
don't think so.
All right, have a listen to this, man. When he said this, I'm just listening to this interview like. This should have happened, man. So this is the premise, right? And you definitely find it. If you just go to YouTube, type in John Cleese Fawlty Towers movie, I'm sure it'll come up. The premise of it was that Basil and Sybil go to visit Manuel's parents, and they get on the plane, and there's all these different delays, right? So then Basil flips out and hijacks the plane.
What?
And then they never actually get there, right? And he's telling this to the interview, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't you do this, man? This would have been fucking amazing, even if it was a TV movie. Because can you imagine Basil flipping out and just right, I've had enough, and he like just, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like an
Pretends to have
hour
a
and a
gun.
half Christmas special, basically, or
Can you
something
imagine,
like that.
like what Blackadder did with the Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Like just that. I mean, and apparently John Cleese talked recently saying they wanted to do a continuation of 40 Towers series, and they're writing it, but it's in a different country. I think he wants to shoot it where he lives, abroad or something like that. But I don't know how that's going to work at this point. You know, obviously Andrew Sachs isn't with us anymore, so And I know
Well,
it might feel a bit guilty having a guy who's that age being Manuel, kind of getting told what to
beating
do if
him.
he's
Yeah.
getting abused.
I guess it could have worked
You know?
because like that hotel would never have survived financially, so he would have just had to immigrate and then start up a new one.
Oh yeah, I think Basil. Do you guys think Basil was a candidate for someone that might have ended up having a heart attack? And
100%.
yeah, because I think
And he
Basil.
didn't.
Yeah, or he's
100%.
do you know? Or he's meant to employ some builders to fix the roof. So he goes instead of pay the money, he goes to do it himself and ends up like really hurting himself in the process. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think Basil. I don't think Basil saw old age. I really don't. Not the way he was living with Sybil. Sybil might have killed him. Do you know
Isn't
what I
it
mean?
weird? He was dating the younger one
I
in
know,
real
right?
life.
In the first season, him and
Yeah,
the
that was
actress
his
playing
wife. No, it
Colin.
was his wife, wasn't it? It wasn't
They
dating
were
him.
together, yeah,
They got
yeah. And then
married.
they'd split up by the second season,
Yeah,
right? Yes, but they're
That's
professionals.
awkward.
but they hated each other in the program, and it came across very well in the second series.
Very organic, yeah, very organic hate that was going on there, though.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
mean,
I don't know. I think they were friends. I'm not sure. You know, it's difficult to know exactly what happened there. But yeah, to be together as a couple in the first season and by the second season they're not together.
that's
uh,
why
You
John
know?
Cleese lives abroad because it's financially cheaper because he's got so many ex-wives. He said that for real on a chat show.
Did he
He
really
goes,
say that? Oh
I
god.
live abroad because if I come over here, I owe 9 ex-wives or whatever, certain amount
Oh
of money, so I
man.
stay away.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Insane.
I've seen him in recent interviews. He looks like he's not bothered about living abroad. He looks like he doesn't want to live in the UK. You know, based on
Yeah.
how he sees things. But yeah,
It's a
legend
shame
man.
seeing like legends like that getting so old as well. Like he looks old now.
Right? Isn't it weird, guys? Because we're so used to like just seeing people in what we like to watch. So when we see like when you see Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and they're obviously older men, like you know what I mean. But I saw
Yeah.
Heat the other day. I love Heat. He's a
Oh
classic, right?
mate,
I'm sure
yeah.
you guys love Heat.
You know they're
And
making a sequel at the moment.
yeah,
Austin Butler's in it.
yeah.
So
He's playing. Isn't he playing Val Kilmer's character?
well, I assumed it was a sequel or is it a prequel?
I
Like
think it's a
I assume
prequel because I think it's a prequel. I think
okay.
he's playing. I mean, I might be wrong, but he's playing the character Val Kilmer played.
Right.
So it's going to be
You know
interesting.
what? Since you just said that, you belong on our podcast because we change subjects so quickly. I've got a point about 7 conversations ago that I never got a chance. What was it? You're talking about films, and I said you were talking about it was Thingy and Larry, and I said about
Oh, Chuck and Larry.
now.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was going to say, have you heard of the new film Megalopolis?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Yeah, but I've heard of it.
Oh, it's not out yet. It's brand new, and the director is getting a lot of heat for it because he's self-funding it, and it's a massive risk. It's got Adam Driver as the main guy, and
Okay.
it was in the news a few weeks ago because they faked reviews and they got
Oh,
caught, so they had to pull the trailer off.
oh wow.
But the director, who is Francis Ford Coppola, he said on record that he's sick of people getting cancelled and all this woke shit is what he said, and he goes, so I've employed all the people who have been cancelled apart from Adam Driver, so he's got like all loads of actors that have got dodgy marks next to their name like Shia LaBeouf and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's deliberately picking people who are controversial to be in his film. So
That's
That's
quite
quite
smart.
funny.
I
That's
think
very
that's good.
smart because that's going to make people go and watch it. They're going to be like, oh, I haven't seen him in a while. You know?
Exactly. So I think
Wow.
that's a good idea.
That's a good strategy.
Also, diverting back to 3 conversations ago, you're talking about favorite films you saw in the cinema. And I'm assuming you're going to bring up Kneecap potentially.
Yeah, man. Kneecap really kneecap me, man. I didn't expect anything. I mean, literally, those because I'm a Cineworld member, right? So we pay
Same.
£20 a month. Yeah, there you go, right? Unlimited. I don't.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. I'm like, I don't work for them. I'm just promoting them because it's a good fucking deal. Do you know? What I
Yeah,
mean?
I go once or
Especially-
twice a week usually.
Yeah, I need to go more often. To be fair, James, have you got one of these memberships as well?
No, I'm going to next month get the Odeon one, I think. Because we got an
It's
Odeon
worth
near
it.
us. It's $14.99.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
it's so worth it, honestly. I mean, especially with London, as you guys know. I mean, the average price of a ticket is like 10 to 11 quid, isn't it? Or 12 quid even. So
What's like
after
that
you've
here?
gone,
It's
yeah, how much?
7.50, £8.
Oh god, where are you based, James?
A little town called Andover, about an hour out of London.
Oh yes, yeah. I remember when I went to Stoke and it was like £6 for a ticket
And then
several
you want
years ago.
nachos, they offer you like a 3-month payment option.
Is it like going into the newsagents? You can buy one cigarette. You can buy 4 nachos
Well, the
for
funny thing is,
50p.
our Odeon sits literally on top of an Asda, so we just go to Asda and buy everything, and then just go
Brilliant. I know
upstairs.
people don't even hide the snacks anymore. You used to sneak the snacks in.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like
Yeah,
you just put it in a rucksack.
that's the weird thing. It was never illegal, but you were told as a kid it's illegal. You've got to buy in there, so you'd sneak them in. It's only
Yeah.
now as an adult you walk in like, is this a cane? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
got no shame though. So I bought a big bag of popcorn from Asda,
Oh
went
yeah.
with Reef to watch, I think, Godzilla Kong, and asked them
Good
for a
film.
popcorn bucket so I could put it in.
Brilliant.
And they were
Brilliant.
like, "Yeah, fine."
Yeah, because you know what I mean. It's not. Is it really worth their job to just argue with you? Do you know what I mean? Like you can ask for
Not with me.
water.
They don't
But,
give a
but
fuck.
but that's the thing with the snacks, and it's funny because like yeah, most have you noticed most news agencies that are right near a cinema, they've got quality snacks in there, man, because they know what the plan is. They know you're gonna come in there. And what
Yeah,
if you don't like the snacks in the cinema, man? Do you know what I mean? You wanna?
they're
I
pretty
mean,
limited.
I've eaten chicken and chips in there before, man. You know what I mean? You can get anything in there really. You can smuggle
They
what you want
only
in there.
sell the noisiest food, like popcorn,
Crisps.
crisps,
Yeah.
nachos. You should only be able to eat ice cream, shouldn't you, in like a cinema, or jelly?
You're right, yeah. And if you're making noise with ice cream, then you're doing too much. Do you know what I mean? Unless there's a wafer in there, you ain't got an excuse.
I, I I was seconds away from having a fight a few months ago when someone was crunching crisps behind me, like 3 away from me, but behind me,
Yeah.
mouth open, crunching
Oh
crisps.
yeah, no.
I was like,
No.
"Let it slide. It will finish soon." And he opens a second packet, and I'm like,
He's got a multi
"Right,
pack.
okay,
Oh yeah.
I'm holding on." And then I glanced over. He's got a big Tesco bag full of a multi pack.
Oh,
And
he's ready.
I had to get up and say something. I said, "Can you not? Can you fucking not?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
not. This is not allowed. We're not. This is not an action movie. This is a talking movie. Shut
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck up."
What was it? Despicable Me 4?
I've got a clue what it was. It was a quiet.
Yeah,
It
no.
was a horror. I
Kev
think.
has a punch up in a Disney movie.
No, but the thing is, look, I'm with you. You can talk a little bit, you can eat a little bit noisy, but it's got to be when there's an explosion or
Yeah,
the end credits.
pick your
Or do you get
moment.
me? Have you that? Some people have no movie watching etiquette. They're terrible with it. You talk at the wrong times. But I mean, James, I don't know about you, but Kevin, I think that guy was crunching like he was waiting for moments when there was silence, and then he was taking an enormous crunch of
Oh
the
no, he
actual.
just didn't stop. It was consistent.
Yeah, no,
I had
you
to
don't.
say something.
No, do you know what you said reminds me of? You know when you're being distracted and someone's being a nuisance. Do you guys ever see Red Dwarf?
Yes.
I'm a big Red Dwarf fan. And I remember Lister was being kept up. No, it was Kachansky that was being kept up by the noise. There was some sort of engine problem, and then she, because of how she thinks, because she's so logical, she didn't mind being kept up, but she wanted the noises to be in sync. So like, as long as the distraction was like patterned, there was a
Yeah.
pattern of distraction. When it came out of sequence, that's when she lost the plot. So maybe if he'd been if he'd been synchronized with his
Yeah. If there's at
noise,
least a
you know what
rhythm
I mean?
to it, then
Do you know what I mean?
it's all right.
Like a metronome
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
crisps.
yeah. But I'm quite considerate. Even when I've got crisps, and I'm sure you guys like this. When I'm eating crisps in the cinema, I'm not. I don't. I actually take my time, and I'm not going to be loud in the quiet moments. I do actually wait sometimes before I
Yeah.
crunch. Yeah, come on, man.
I love it when you
Consideration.
see people out the corner of their eye just stuffing their face watching a film, and then a quiet bit, and they're like,
Yeah, it's like stuck in the
and they're
mud.
like, I
Yeah.
can't. They know they're going to piss people off, so they just freeze.
No, I appreciate that. Oh God, yeah, God, sorry. The reason why I brought up Cineworld is
Yeah.
because I went to a secret screening. You know the private screenings they do where you don't know what you're gonna watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me and my buddy went. My boy Josh, the actor I mentioned earlier, I would say we went together. We always go to the cinema together. But we didn't know what we was watching, so we sat there. We thought this might be Borderlands. It might be because it was those films that come out yet. We thought maybe it's The Crow, and then it started, and it was like, oh okay. And then I just love the fact that a lot of it was actually in Gaelic, right? It was in
Yeah.
They were speaking in Irish, and and when I realized those guys were actually the actual crew, that they're the real. I thought they're good
Real
actors.
deal. Yeah.
They're actually good actors. I know they're even when and people try to discredit people. Oh, you're playing yourself. No, some people can't play themselves. They can't actually play themselves. But these guys are actually good actors. And I thought this is a fun ride, man. And I was like, I was left feeling impressed. Like it was a good film, and it was it
I've not
was.
seen it yet, and I'm really annoyed because it was
Oh,
only in
it's
the
good,
cinema
man.
for 1 week, so it was one weekend, and I had to choose that or Blink Twice, and I picked Blink
Oh, I
Twice. I
see.
thought I'll see that one next later in
Yeah,
the week, and it was gone.
I'm
I
seeing it
really
being
want to see
advertised
Blink
though.
twice.
Have you not seen it either, James?
No, I'm waiting. Well, I'm kind of past that point now where it's probably going to be on Prime next week, and I can just get it.
It's been out 10 days, if that.
Mad. I mean, that's
It'll
the
be in the
thing.
cinema
So
for another 2 weeks, man. Go and see
yeah,
it.
even, do you know what? That's the thing. It's like it's amazing, isn't it, guys? Because you remember when films would be in the cinema for weeks.
You'd
Like,
have to wait a year till it came out to rent on video,
But it depends
yeah,
on the
and then
budget.
like longer
Deadpool
to buy it.
Wolverine's still in the cinema. It probably will be for another month. It's going to be like a two,
yeah.
3
These
month
days,
run.
unless it's a big blockbuster and it's
Yeah,
broken records, it's like
Barbenheimer
Longlegs
was
is
there for
on
like
Prime
3
already,
months.
crazy. Longlegs was only in the cinema what 2 weeks ago, if that.
Yeah,
but
it was
not
only
long.
it was in the cinema for probably about 10 days in total as well.
That's crazy, man. But that's the times we're living in. It's fascinating to see. I mean, I think at some point, I think there'll just be like retro cinemas left, maybe in 20, 30 years time. Like I think that's what's going to happen. Like there'll be like like everyman cinemas maybe. But I
Yeah.
mean, guys, where Kevin and I was as well and Drew obviously came along as well. That's closed, isn't it? The Shaftesbury Avenue Odeon.
Was it?
It's gone now.
Do you
Oh
know what
shit!
is mad though? I've been saying this like, cinemas are going under, but AMC, who own Odeon, whoever,
Mm.
the job I do, I contact a lot. We sell like sort of mini golf courses and like ropes, play, all this sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
we were like, we should target maybe cinemas because they want something else to do. They're
Mm.
making billions, like billions. It's insane how much money they're making. Like I was like, surely they're struggling. Nope, up and up and up and up and up.
What
Like
are they making it from? Because it can't be from ticket sales.
Us
honestly,
subscribing.
What's
yeah,
that?
absolutely thriving. Yeah.
Us being members and then not going half the time.
Yeah,
Like,
but how are they making most of their money? Can you
it's
discuss
all on
what
the
I'm
this?
saying.
snacks and
I
stuff.
don't
The
know.
uplift on the sweets and shit.
Oh wow.
It only
Yeah.
costs pennies, and they're making like £4 on a pack of Skittles.
Well, Kevin and I, yeah, exactly. Kevin and I have got our 25% off
Yeah.
Oh
with
wait,
our unlimited cards.
I
Well,
mean
the
they're
best thing about the
down.
cinema at the moment these days is do you go to watch the old films? That's
Yeah, do you know what they had Terminator the other day, didn't they? I
yeah.
was gonna go and I didn't go, man.
And Judgment Day is on this week as well.
I might have to get. I mean, for me, that's the best one.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
and
But
I saw. Do you know what? I saw me and my buddy Josh. We went and saw Demolition Man, and
yes,
yeah, and we saw what was the other one? In my opinion, one of the best one of the best action movies ever, The Rock.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Oh man,
Back to
man.
I watched Demolition Man the other day. Forgot how good it was. Just a quick one. AMC, the last 12 months have turned over $4.49 billion,
Jeez. Wow.
which is apparently up 5.41% year on year. That's crazy. Isn't it?
Wow.
I mean, they do have like, I think they own most of the cinemas in the world, but it's
Jesus, yeah.
a lot of pennies. So I was like, surely people paying 14 quid a month. Okay, they go in. These staff, there's always like 20 staff there earning probably 12 quid an hour. So, like, for that hour, you're barely paying for that one person's. Your ticket is not even covering one member of staff's time there while you're watching the film.
But that's what I'm saying about
Yeah.
these old
Yeah.
films. That's what's making the money. Because like when I go and see a new film at Cineworld, we've got a fairly big one. I'm in Chester, just around the corner from me, and it's like got IMAX and 4DX and all that sort of stuff. And most of the time, it's not full. Like a big film like Deadpool and Wolverine, there might have been 50 of us in like a 200 capacity. That would be busy. But normally it's like 10 of us tops. But if you go and see an old film, like I've seen like The Exorcist, RoboCop recently, and Enter the Dragon, all these sort of films have gone to see the cinema. Every seat is full. Every seat.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, like so people are coming back from when they put these classics on,
Yeah.
people just want to have a good time, and especially that's why most of us return to older movies, right? Because we know what we're getting, we're gonna have a good
Nostalgia
time,
as
we're gonna
well,
enjoy
yeah.
it. Yeah, so going to the cinema and especially if they're older movies that a lot of people might have been too young to watch at the time, or it's before they're even born. That the opportunity, the experience to watch a classic in the cinema, you're gonna take it, man. Most of the
Yes,
time.
I saw the 1994 The Crow about a month ago in the cinema, and
Yeah.
I've seen that film more than anything else. And
Oh, God, yeah, hundreds of times.
Really? Wow.
it still blew me away. It's
You
still
know
the
the guy that
greatest
played
film ever.
Funboy, the one that actually killed him?
Yeah.
He said that ruined him. That's why he never really saw him on anything again.
Really?
It
People?
was Funboy that killed
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee, wasn't it? because they had the wadding was in a blank gun with double the gunpowder, so it fired wadding out. It wasn't cleaned properly.
Oh wow. Oh wow, I didn't realize that. So people, even though of course it wasn't his fault, it was the armorer or it was whoever was in control of that
It was the
situation.
gun, yeah. Apparently, the prop guns, you had two types. One that shot wadding out, which was for the bullet scenes, and one that had like just blanks, and apparently it was like double the gunpowder for the noise and that. And someone hadn't cleaned one out properly and packed it, so it basically got shot with a pad. I think it was the scene where he jumps on the table, isn't it?
No, that's what we all thought it was. It's the initial opening scene, which they filmed towards the end.
Because if you look,
Oh,
the
wow.
scene where he's falling out the window, if you actually pay attention to his face, it's really bad CGI. Because obviously he died before they did that.
Yeah. Of course. Wow, I didn't know that, man. Yeah, I mean, well, of course he's the one that pulled the trigger, but it's
It's
just kind
like
of
Alec
crazy, man.
Baldwin these days. It's like it's not his
Yeah,
fault,
yeah.
and he was ruined from it. He was going to court for manslaughter, and
He got off that thing, didn't he, in the end?
well, it's not getting off. It's not his fault. Even though some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
say that, even though you're an actor, you're not these gun specialists. You have a certain amount of
Unless you're
responsibility.
Keanu
to check.
Reeves.
But do you?
Yeah.
I don't think you do.
Well, so yeah, someone did mention that. I think was it I saw. I think it was someone was talking about this, saying that
Quentin
was
Tarantino said he was like 10% responsible. I'm like,
when he was talking to he was on a talk show, wasn't he? He was talking to, was it Bill Maher or something like that? He was talking about,
yes, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He was saying that there's still a percentage there. I think because he's the producer, he was the producer on the film, right?
Probably, yeah. But how's a
Yeah.
producer going to know how a gun works?
I agree. I mean, that's not his
Yeah.
department. That's not his department. So I mean, I don't think he's to blame at all for it because he wasn't in control of it. I don't know why live rounds are needed on sets. I just don't understand. Like live rounds, I don't get
It's
why that's
America,
got.
isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
why,
know
yeah.
that if you
Rubber
read a
gun.
story where Keanu Reeves has shot someone on set, you know he's probably meant it.
Why?
Because Keanu Reeves, he knows exactly what's going on, doesn't he? He's like, oh, all in innocence, like Keanu.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he knows what he's doing from those videos of him at gun ranges. He looks like he's.
Apparently, he came up with that whole thing for the mag thing. I was watching a weapons specialist. He's like, no, that was his idea. Like when
Oh,
he
okay.
flicks it for the mags to come out.
Maybe he does it a lot in his spare time, man. You
Well,
know, like maybe it's
He
actually
does a lot of
something.
jiu-jitsu and stuff,
He
doesn't he?
is
And like
trained as a
close arm
martial
combat and
artist,
stuff.
but even he says like, because he's so like humble, almost too humble when on his own chat show, and people go, those fight sequences are amazing, especially at your age. They always caveat there, but
Rude.
he's good. He's better than a 20-year-old doing it half the time. But
He knows what he's doing.
he
Yeah,
knows
for
what he's
sure.
doing. But he knows how to beat the crap out of people. And he goes, no. I do stage fighting. I couldn't fight for real. I'm like, shut up.
I bet you could.
But that is how you should speak, you know, because you don't want to give it away.
Yeah,
Do you know what
and
I mean?
also you don't want to
Just
piss
in
off the
case.
stunt people that put in all the work and all the choreography and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's quite involved in that. You know,
Did you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, didn't you?
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
No, did you watch the Joe Rogan interview with Quentin Tarantino after that?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they're talking about the Bruce Lee scene and
Yeah.
how he made him look a bit like shit. And he was like, how do you feel about that? And he's like, bothered. And he was like, what would you say to people that like got upset with how you portray Bruce Lee? And he was like, unless it's his daughter or is it a direct family, he's like, go suck a dick. I don't care.
No, but
It's just like-
Shannon Lee was very upset about that as well. So she came out and talked about it, and she wasn't happy with what he'd done at all. But the thing is, Tarantino's always kind of like played around with, you know, he's always kind of poured fiction into his. I mean, look at what happened with Hitler in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't kind of take. I understand. With the whole Bruce Lee thing, I understand that because it's like, I mean, look, the whole thing in *Inglourious Bastards*. Of course, we know that they didn't die like that. Apparently, as far as we know. But with the
No,
Bruce
he
Lee
didn't get
thing,
mowed down by a machine gun in a theater.
yeah, but I think, yeah, exactly. But I think,
difficult to work with, and he was a bit of an arsehole. And I
yeah,
love
but
him.
that's what they said. That's what. But well, then you hear counter arguments to that. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of you hear people like Jim Kelly who spoke really highly of him, and
Yeah.
other people. But that's the thing. It's like that is such a sensitive topic, isn't it? Because it's like you wonder why. You wonder why it was even important. Because obviously, I know that scene served to be. It was there to show how
to show that
badass
Brad Pitt's character is vicious and
is a badass. Yeah, it was there to serve that.
I just love
However-
how he's so unapologetic. He's like, just go suck a dick. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, and I guess it's what makes him great, but also what makes people, you know, feel how they feel as well. Do you know what I mean? Because
There's
it's
a great
well,
like blooper in that film as well. There's a scene, you know, when Leo's got the flamethrower and he's like, "Ah, shit, that's actually getting really hot." That was him in real life going, "This is actually really hot. Like, let's," and they just kept it in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to Tarantino's last film. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he's serious about making one more film because he can always go to TV. Imagine Tarantino directing a TV series.
He's doing something at the moment with some series. I think it might even be a cartoon or something. I heard.
Yeah, because imagine he's like retiring, and then he comes back with a massive
But
TV
he
series.
could produce
You know
and
what I
do
mean?
TV forever. You know, like you're saying, he's
Yeah,
he's going to have 10 perfect films and
yeah.
then do TV and produce and write.
I think he said he wants to write books too, didn't he? He wants to focus on writing
Yeah.
books and
Well,
stuff like that.
he did the book for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I've got it and I read it. And you think it's just going to be the film. It's not. It's loads of backstories for characters that you don't know anything about. And he writes that every time. Every film he does, he writes about a character A, and he'll write a backstory. And he goes, no one's going to know this or see this, but it's so the actor knows where that person's coming from.
Yes, obviously he gives that to the actor.
Portray him the right way. Yeah.
Do you think he'll do one film, or he'll go Kill Bill style and do like 3-part? Because Kill Bill counts as one, doesn't it?
No, he'll
Yeah,
just
it does.
make a long one. He'll just do like a 3-hour epic if he wants to.
Like a 10-hour film.
Yeah.
Like with 4
Well, he was
parts.
going to do The Critic,
You know what I mean?
wasn't he? But now there's a film called The Critic coming out next week in the cinema.
Yeah. So he's decided not to do it now.
I don't know if it's
gosh.
related, but
It might be. It might be, yeah. But I would love to see Tarantino do a sci-fi. You
well, he
know?
wanted to do the Star Trek thing, didn't he? But
Yeah, I can see why
Bad
people
idea.
couldn't
bad
see that.
idea.
Do you know what I mean? Because Star Trek has like wholesome sort of that chilled themes, and I think it would be too much. Like I don't think the Star Trek audience. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're
Yeah,
ready
no
for
one's
that.
going to get beat to fuck in a Star Trek film, are they? It's
Do you know
more
what I mean?
family
Star
friendly.
Trek's
isn't it?
it's not a gory affair. Star Trek, so I don't know how that would
He
go.
loves his
They should
westerns and he loves his martial arts, and he's covered that.
They should
So he needs
definitely
to do
start
something.
mixing things up, directors. Like, I want to see like Romeo and Juliet directed by Michael Bay. Like just wacky movies.
Yeah,
with
right.
explosions
You
everywhere.
got Cowboys vs Aliens with Daniel Craig. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I thought that was interesting. And you're funny. Before that happened, I never thought of aliens in that time period. But if you're of the belief that aliens have been around and always been around
Good
humans,
point.
then you're like, well, yeah. But then why can't they be in any time period? Do you
That's
know what I
why
mean?
Prey. Have you seen Prey?
Yeah, I thought Prey was good, man. I
Predator?
liked Prey.
That was
Yeah.
great. That's a
I
different
thought Prey.
timeline as well.
I thought it was refreshing, man. But I'd love to see. I'd love to see the pirate, like a pirate movie, but with predators as well. I think that'd be really
Pirates and
cool.
aliens. That's never been
Yeah.
done.
Pirates versus aliens. Wasn't Chris Pratt doing a ninjas versus cowboys or something like that at one point? There was like a
Sounds
film.
ludicrous.
I hope so.
That was
That's
meant
one
to
of
be
those
happening.
stupid things that's going to be awful or awesome, nothing in between.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Sharknado.
Yeah, awfully awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
what we do need is that triplets film. I don't think it's happening now though.
Oh, what, from Twins?
Follow on from Twins.
Yeah, man.
Schwarzenegger.
I don't, and we're never gonna get King Conan now either.
Oh, who was it going to be? It was going to be
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, that's it.
He's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think let's see what happens.
That would
Do
be
you know
so
what I mean?
good.
But then apparently it's Tracy Morgan. I think Eddie left the project, and then they got Tracy
Yeah,
Morgan.
that's the name
And
that
I
was in my
just-
head. Yeah.
And I thought I don't know I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I think it's just been discussed, but who knows if that's ever
Do you,
going to
do you know
happen.
what's weird? Just going on to Danny DeVito there. I watched Pulp Fiction about a week and a half ago in the cinema. Unreal again. And Danny DeVito's a producer on there. And
Really?
if you go into IMDb on Danny DeVito has been in few things, but he is all over everything.
Yeah, he's around, man. Yeah, no, I found that out recently too. That he's produced a lot of projects you'd never know he was involved in.
Loads of documentaries, loads of TV shows, loads of like random shit that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, Danny's the man, man, and Danny's the man. And that's the thing. It's just I love those. I love hearing stories from those guys as well. You know, because they're from that time period where films. I know politics has always been involved in film, but I feel like I don't know, things felt a bit more organic with the big movies they used to make back then.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It felt that way.
I find it tough. I think it might have been only because it was Quentin Tarantino talking about Pulp Fiction. But if Danny DeVito's producing your movie and he's on set occasionally overseeing things, it's so tempting to go, come on, just do a walk-on, just do a one-liner.
Yeah, of course.
You'd want him in your film, wouldn't you?
Oh, in a Tarantino movie too, that'd be brilliant. Danny DeVito in a Tarantino movie, yeah.
Like Stan Lee style, just shows up in every movie somewhere.
Yeah.
No, guys, what if he got Danny DeVito to be the critic?
The Who?
You know, if Tarantino had gotten Danny DeVito to play the critic, that would have been
Oh,
interesting,
right,
man.
yeah.
Can you imagine? He's the lead. You make Danny DeVito the lead, and he's the critic.
Well, his next film has got to be like every star in the world, but it's got to be all the old school stars.
You
I mean,
know
it was
DiCaprio's getting in there and Brad Pitt.
it was
And Samuel
DiCaprio and
Jackson, of
Brad
course.
Pitt.
Samuel Jackson's going to play the piano.
I mean, he wants
Travolta
Tom
might show up.
Cruise. He wants Tom Cruise as well.
Oh, does he?
So Tom Cruise in a Quentin Tarantino film would be good, especially because Tom Cruise has been so good in the last decade for doing all the big action stuff and then disappearing, popping up for action, disappearing. It'd be good if he did like, because I've heard he's wanting to do some serious roles and like proper acting.
Well,
No
imagine,
acting.
imagine Tom Cruise starred alongside Daniel Day-Lewis in Tarantino's last movie.
Mate, something like that.
That'd be wild,
pick
man.
some insane, like unreachable people. Pick those ones and get them in a movie.
I would
I'm going to ask a borderline stupid question. Has Tom Cruise ever won an Oscar?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
No, not. Was he nominated for Collateral?
Collateral's
I'm
great.
not sure. I think he was nominated for.
Vanilla Sky would have got something, I'm sure.
He must have been at least nominated before. No, that's a good question, man. Because I don't, for the best of my knowledge, I don't think he's won one. But I mean, Johnny Depp's never won an Oscar either, has he?
He's been nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, nominated for Best Actor for Jerry Maguire in 1997, and Best Actor in 1990, Born on the 4th of July, Best Supporting Actor in Magnolia 2000.
Should have got an Oscar for Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
He might get an honorary Oscar like Jackie Chan one day. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's never won anything. He's going to get lifetime achievement sort of thing.
Yeah, if he actually does what he's been talking about shooting some scenes in space for the next Mission Impossible film.
Oh
so
man!
If he actually does that, they've got to give him an honorary Oscar, like because no one's done that yet. Do you know what I mean?
Seen his new stunt that has been on social media the last few weeks, where he's on one of those glider planes, you know, the two wings, like the double wings that people usually do the wing walk on, where they get taped into the top of the plane and they're just standing at the top of the plane like that. Well, he's doing it upside down, holding on with his hand, as opposed to being strapped in with his feet. He's been holding onto his hand upside down.
Oh, and didn't he just sort of just
glide in,
doing
a loop the loop while he's holding on with his hand.
Oh, that's
you know what would be a great comedy skit?
I've not heard that one. That's crazy.
I'll tell you what would be a great comedy skit if Tom Cruise wanted to do it. Would be Tom Cruise ringing up for life insurance. He's like, I'm nearly 60 now, and they're like, what do you do for a job? He's like, well, just going through all the things that he does, and they're like calculating his premiums.
Oh yeah. I mean, can you even Jackie Chan probably looks sometimes and thinks, really? You know, because
that was the joke last week for the Oasis gig. Is that Ticketmaster are contacting their insurance companies because it might never happen to give refunds for all these tickets.
There's loads of memes in there like Noel and Liam after day one and they're just beating each other up. There's that scene from Legend where they're like, you fucking that.
Yeah. Oh, I saw one taking their faces and like superimposed them. Oh shit. Well, because the thing is, because to the best of my knowledge, they weren't even talking. So them reuniting for this tour, but apparently the tickets are like 900 quid for like.
They're like 7-8 grand now.
That's crazy, man. I mean, they're gonna. I mean, I know they don't need the money, but I guess there's an incentive there.
They're not getting that. That's for the resellers. That's the touters that are selling for that price.
They're still probably getting a good couple of tens of millions each, aren't they?
I think they're making I think it was 150 million they're making just from the Irish 2 dates.
Wow, man.
So if you hated someone, right, really hated them, they were like 100 million quid.
I know, but they've got it, haven't they? Because they've got it, and I don't know. It's a funny one. Their manager did I think their tour manager, one of their tour managers, did an interview recently on YouTube, and he was just he was giving some backstory about his experiences. I watched a few minutes of it. It was interesting just to hear about what took place and the kind of shenanigans that went on. You know what I mean? But yeah, see, they've been doing solo for a long time, though, haven't they? They've been doing their own thing separately.
Yeah, they're doing all right. They don't really need this, but it's. I mean, he's 50 something, and Noel Gallagher's 57.
Really? If I went, I'd only be going for Wonderwall, man.
No,
I'd be waiting for it the whole time. Do you know what I mean? And
I think most people will be.
No, I mean, Wonderwall was one of the worst songs they've got.
What? Okay, that's very controversial. That is.
Kev, watch my favourite Oasis song is probably more controversial.
Go on.
Mine's Right Here, Right Now.
What?
That All My People Right Here, Right Now, that song, whatever it's called.
The dance song.
Whatever
Yep.
it's called, I don't know what it's called. Because
Right
that
Here.
reminds me of the first one of their albums I bought when I was at school.
Oh,
The best album's Mastermind, that B-sides album. That's amazing.
I need to take a deeper dive, man. I only know a few of their songs, man. Don't Look Back in Anger, obviously, is a classic.
What's the one with the British guy acting in the video in black and white? He's in
I don't know. Are you on about the same guy that was in the Fatboy Slim one?
maybe.
For some reason, the Verve just popped into my head.
Oh, mate. Yeah, the Verve
Yeah.
are quality as well.
I love the Verve, man. It's that time period, isn't it? Because it's all the leather jackets and them hairstyles and
Yeah.
same kind of music.
I met Richard Ashcroft in his heyday, and you know how you've got that video of him walking down the street, barging into everyone.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
massive. He looks really tall.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
met him. He is shorter than me, and I'm 5'10".
Really? Wow. Because
He's
he looks at least 6 foot.
Yeah, he's not. He's like
And even his
5'8".
bandmates look shorter than him too. So I don't know. I thought he was quite tall.
It's the Tom Cruise effect. They just hire shorter people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think of that. You know, there's the satire man, Vindaloo. You know when they did the
Yeah. Vindaloo,
yeah. Was it
football song, wasn't it?
man? One of my favorite actors, man.
Fat Les, wasn't it? You sang that?
It was was that who sang it? I don't know
Fat
because
Les, I think, yeah.
because Paul K is the actor in the video.
That's
You know,
the Dennis
Paul K.
Pennis guy, isn't it?
Yeah, man, great actor, man.
Oh, he's great.
man.
The Importance of Being Idle was the name of the song, Kev.
Oh, that was
Oh,
off one of
cool.
their more recent albums. I say recent.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how old
I can't think of the actor's name, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, fellas, should we wrap it up and do a part 2 soon?
Yeah, man. I can't believe you stayed on as long as you did. That was.
Oh man, I've enjoyed it, man.
I didn't want to tell you to disappear. I felt like it would be rude to tell you to go
No, you
away.
know what, my battery's like on like 11%, and I know it's gonna cut out.
Shit, yeah.
And
It'll
the way I've
start.
got my phone
Yeah, it
positioned-
could affect the record as well. So yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on, and yeah, we'll sort a date out in the near future and get another go at it as well.
Wicked, guys. Yeah,
Drew's
it's been
going to
fun.
be so pissed off. He thinks you hung around for another 5 minutes and you've been on for another hour.
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. That's all good. No, definitely, man. Yeah, we didn't plan to. I think we planned to do another 10 minutes.
He was genuinely so excited because we just get like random people on. He's like, "Oh, another actor, brilliant!"
Cool, man.
So yeah, he'll really love that. But yeah,
No, I look
thank
forward
you
to
very
talking
much.
again. Yeah, fellas, man. Wicked.
Awesome. Well, don't go
Thank you,
anywhere.
guys.
When I click off, don't disappear.
Yeah.
It takes a second to load up. All right.
Wicked. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot. Catch you
Awesome.
soon.
Take it easy, guys. Peace, man.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.